Just want people to come on in here. It's your boy DT3. We live, open boxing debate. For anybody who has an issue with any videos or anything that I've said in a previous video, in a previous live stream, feel free to chime on in. Feel free to what's up, Nate? What's up, Banks? What's going on with y'all? But put the link in the comment section. Come on in. So come on in. A lot of people got an issue about what I said in my videos. And tried to come in on my DT Magnus show with me and Myron Magnus. But DT Magnus is not about debating. It's just about pure boxing talk. Now, if you got something to say, this is the time where you want to come in and debate me and we talk our shit. Okay, so if you got an issue, come on in. Only 3 people in the building, and I'm taking all comers. All comers. All comers. So come on. Come on. I got my coffee, all the shit. Come on. Khalil, Terrell, Black Market, Mr. Sniff, Mr. Sheldon, who else? Misfits, all that. I'm taking on all challenges. That's the word, bro. Feel free. If you would like to come on and show your appreciation to your boy DT3, the link is in the comment section, man. Feel free to come on in and we can still talk boxing, but I'm literally making this about debating people. For sure, for sure. Okay, I'm back. Had to handle something with my wife real fast. I'm back. What's my opinion on Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo? Shout out to UK English Pride, UK Bars English Pride. My opinion on Billy Joe Saunders and Canelo, I think Canelo stops him. Based on his last performance, I think Canelo stops him. I think he's going to walk him down and stop him. That's what I believe. I think Canelo walks him down, stops him, gets him out of there in 6. I think Billy Joe makes a fight of it, makes a decent fight of it, but he's going to get him out of there in 6. It's funny how when I say I'm doing an open debate, none of you guys pop in. Y'all don't come in when I'm doing an open debate, when I'm willing to just say, okay, y'all wanted me to make it where y'all could call in and y'all could do this open debate thing. Y'all see it says DT3 open debate. Y'all see it, I'm on StreamYard. Y'all see I'm out here and y'all nowhere to be found. But then when I go live on my cell phone, y'all all of a sudden, y'all by now, y'all like 20, 30 deep up in here. I mean, what's really good? What's up, Unrivaled? What's going on? I'm just trying to get a debate going. A lot of these cats been talking all this noise, and they came to my segment on DT Magnus and was saying some derogatory things and all that. Now I'm open for debate. This is where the debate is going to be, and you guys are nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. None whatsoever. But when I'm on DT Magnus, a show where we're not debating, we're just literally talking pure boxing talk. Y'all want to pop in and start talking y'all shit, man? Hold on. Let me add the OG of OGs, man. Shout out to my boy D Jefferson. Welcome to the panel.
What's up? What's up, my man DT3? Boone in the building. Let me first give much respect to Boone and the NBBC and everybody involved with this real movement, man. That real boxing talk. We in search of truth. I always deal with the fellas that's in search of truth. I see my man Unrivaled in the building in the chat there. But yeah, man, I just got off with the UGC, bro, and the same here with this here, bro. I like this StreamYard platform because I'm going to start running streams through my channel when I'm on here on you guys' channel, being a guest or whatever, so that it's a good thing, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I like it.
Yeah, I like
what you're doing. I like what you and Myron doing too, though, bro. I enjoyed that show yesterday, bro. That was good.
Thank you. Every week we haven't picked a date, but we know it's gonna be Saturday or Sunday. We know it's gonna be every weekend, Saturday or Sunday. DT Magnus is the show. It's going to be either that show you got to watch every Saturday morning or every Sunday morning. You got to tune in to DT Magnus because all we doing is talking boxing talk. We are welcoming anybody that wants to come in and give their opinion on the topic. It's okay. You don't have to be a boxing analyst. You don't have to be a know-it-all. Like, of course, like me and you, like how we know things. You don't have to be one of us to chime in. You could be just a regular, casual, any type of person to come in and talk on the stream. But I really am trying to get people to debate, and they don't want to come in and debate. They don't want to come in.
Unrivaled, I'm gonna have to put up a DuckTales video, man. That man changed his mind on debating you. He sent me an email saying he don't want to debate him. I told him I'm gonna have to put up the DuckTale video because you agreed to that debate. So, but he gonna duck you, bro. So I guess you got that one in the bag. That's anybody who get a duck, they automatically get that body. That's your win. I mean, I know you didn't want it that way. I know you wanted it honestly, but honestly, by default, a win is a win. God damn it, you got that one.
Mm-hmm. What's up, Tim? Shout out to my boy Tim.
Tim, what's up, Tim?
I think my boy Myron live right now too. That's probably why ain't nobody in the building. My boy Myron live right now, I think.
Oh, Myron live too?
I think Myron live right now.
I didn't see his up, bro.
Oh no. He just did a video.
Nah, I got the official scorecard. They live, you live, and the UGC is live.
Yeah, that's probably why it's too many people live at one time. What's up, Mark? What's going on?
What's happening, fellas? What's happening?
What up, Mark?
Yeah.
Nothing much, man.
Yeah. He ducked that work, Mark. He ain't
What you mean? I literally just got back and saw the link in the chat. I was drinking some coffee.
Oh, you were supposed to do the debate with
yeah, I called him out and he agreed live on your channel. Yeah.
Right, and now he said he don't want to debate, so he ducked.
I guess he must have box wrecked the guy that we were about to debate on and realized that there's no win in there.
Yeah, probably so, and figured out, oh damn, I'm dead wrong about this.
Boone. He said, "I'll tell." Will I tell Boone what happened? D?
Yeah.
All
He
ears.
called a former world titleist, Omar Narvaez, 2-weight world champion, a bum, and he's a 2-weight world champion who's had 27 defenses and 30 world title fights.
Mm.
And then, so I wanted to debate him on that, and he agreed to it. And I'm guessing he must have box wrecked who the guy was and realized, like, yeah, you can't really win on that type of stuff.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was a lost cause, man. I mean, honestly, when he said it, even when Mark got off, I kept drilling him on it. I was like, no, because I need you to answer this question. Because how do we find Wilder number one pound for pound, but Narvaez is a bum? Wilder, and then he put so much weight on the 10 title defenses. I said, okay, well, you're telling me because he's working on 10 title defenses as a fucking heavyweight who's traditionally not even recognized in the pound for pound, he's pound for that. But Narvaez, who has over 20 title defenses, is a bum. Please explain that.
27, 11 in one division and 16 in
Right.
another.
So I kept pushing that at him, like, how does this work? You know what I mean? So, like, as soon as he made that statement, in my opinion, like, that debate was lost before it ever started, bro. That debate was already lost before it ever started. And I think maybe he figures better of even attempting it. Because when you know that that's a losing cause, like, it's no sense in even like, well, I wouldn't even embarrass myself like that. If I knew I was going to debate somebody and I know that I'm in trouble, I would rather duck the debate than to be
Embarrassed.
extremely embarrassed like that. Like, seriously, I'm gonna keep it real. I'll be like, nah, man, y'all can call me a duck or whatever. I ain't doing that debate. That would be me. Cause I'm not gonna go get totally embarrassed. Know that I have no fucking way to win. Like, I debate. That's what I do. I like to debate. So bring that shit. Bring that work, right? But if I know that there's a lost cause, fuck that, bro. I'm ducking that.
Yeah. I
I'm not.
mean, Narvaez is going to enter the Hall of Fame, bro. That dude's
Mm-hmm.
going to enter the Hall of Fame when he retires after 5 years. He's a Hall of Famer. Like, anyone who knows his career. I remember Dougie Fisher once even wrote on it in his mailbag saying Narvaez, for him, is one of the top 10 guys below 118 in the history of the sport. So that says a lot. That really
Yeah,
does say a lot.
yeah. So,
Yeah, because
Mark, who coming to get that work from you today?
What do you mean?
Did you tell me somebody wanted to? Oh, never mind. I know who it was. Is he officially going to come on the show, or we don't know yet? Khalil. Oh, I'm sorry. Talking about Khalil.
Khalil, I don't know. I don't know. If he pop up, he pop up. I really want Khalil to pop up in Khalil Nebbit. I want him to pop up because he's been saying some things about me and my channel and my movement. How we're basically we have to be a set narrative. Like if you're not, mind you, I've said it in many videos that I'm not an Anthony Joshua fan. I am an Anthony Yard fan and a Terrence Crawford fan. So the only boxers in boxing that I am a fan of, to be all the way honest, is Terrence Crawford and Anthony Yard. Everybody else I respect as fighters, but I'm only a fan of those two guys. So if you're not a fan of them, I'm not going to frown my lips up upon you because you don't like who my favorite fighters are. I'm not
Right.
going to give you a hard time because you don't like them. And I'm not finna make a narrative that suits in either one of those fighters. There's not one video that I've made that's basically sucking not Joshua, sucking Anthony Yard and Terrence Crawford. I'm not making videos like that. I'm calling everything a spade a spade. So I would like for people to stop saying that if you aren't to my narrative, then you can't be a part of my group when my group don't have a narrative. We just honest boxing talk.
You know who I haven't seen around for a while? He came on my channel, and in my fashion, I had to deuce him up a little bit. But get this smoke. Y'all, I know Mark knows who he is because they don't get along. But do you know about him, DT3?
Nope. Who is that?
He's this dude, man. I guess he's LDBC or he claims LDBC or whatever. But he just has these off the wall opinions. I mean, he is very, very opinionated. And So he used to come on my channel, like, I have an open platform, so anybody could come up there and kick it with us. And so I used to let him come on all the time, but I hadn't seen him here recently. Somebody told me, I ain't gonna say no names, but Mark knows who it is. But they told me maybe I should keep him off the lives because every time he comes on the lives, my numbers start to drop, right? Look, check it out. I didn't even notice, but the next two times he came on my lives, I was like, holy fuck, they right, bro. Because I had like maybe 26, 27 people cruising in there. And then he would jump on and that bitch would drop to like 17, 15. I'm like, oh, damn. What the hell? And that shit happened like the next few times he came on. I was like, oh, wow, that's kind of wild right there, bro. You know what I mean? I guess he's rubbed a lot of people the wrong way or something.
Right.
But no, I had to do him up a little something. You can't just say anything. Like I agree with. I mean, not agree. I allow anybody to have their opinion, but you ain't just gonna come on my live talking no rhetoric and think I ain't gonna respond to it. Dude. You got me fucked up.
Right. So I mean, I just wanted to set the record straight for the boxing community that if you do not agree with anything that I'm putting out there, you have a right to time in and say, yo, DT3, I love your content. I love the videos you made. But that one video you made about such and such, I did not agree with that video. And here's why. Boom, 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 boom. And that's okay. There's no problem with that. Okay.
Me too, man.
That same energy when y'all say I don't give every fighter the effective amount of criticism when I do. When I make videos about Eddie Hearn, when I get on Eddie Hearn head, don't hear nothing from you guys. Nothing. Crickets. Okay. When I say Wilder is the hardest puncher in the heavyweight division, probably in all of boxing, when I say that, you guys don't say, hey man, we appreciate you giving Wilder his credit, whoop, all that. Y'all say nothing. But when I make one video discrediting Wilder for some bullshit that he actually says and he actually deserves to get discredited, then now all of a sudden the floodgates open. I'm a Wilder hater. I'm all these things except what my mama named me. So be fair, man.
Yeah, right.
Just like y'all saying like Ortiz is older than Kovalev. He's older than Kovalev. And y'all talking all this about Canelo fighting old people and he's fighting people past their prime and all that. But what is Wilder doing? Wilder fighting Ortiz. Ortiz is well beyond past his prime. Ain't nobody saying nothing about that. Keep that same energy, man. Keep that same energy.
I didn't think anything of it. Yeah, bro. I feel you. It's so hard for a lot of these fans to do is to keep the same energy. But I always say this: if you take the perspective that I take, but you got to really stick to it. Boxing first, boxer second. If you can take that perspective and really stick to it, like love the sport of boxing first, love what the sport stands for, what the sport is about, and look for that in any fighter. If you do that, then it's easy to be, to not be, double standard or hypocritical in these situations because I love the sport of boxing and what boxing embodies. So I expect this from every fighter. The fighters that I like, the fighters that I don't like, if on this side of the street or what side of the street. If you take that perspective and you put sports first and athletes second, then it's easier for you to just nullify all that double talk and double standard and hypocrisy, because if it's good for the goose, then it's good for the gander, bro. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Tank need to step up and do this, but then because I'm a Spence fan, let him slide on every fucking thing that he does.
Right.
No, I'm going to give both of them that fire, bro, because in the tradition and the love of boxing, both of these fighters need to do this. So that's how I'm gonna put it across.
That's all I'm saying. Just call it a clear, fair around the board, man. Don't say that Canelo fighting somebody past their prime, some old bum and Kovalev, but then you saying Wilder fighting a tough test and Ortiz and
right.
hard tough test and Ortiz is older than Kovalev. And it's like,
Right.
come on, bro. Like,
Knowingly 2 years older, but we don't even really know his age. The
yeah,
motherfucker could be like 5 or 6 years older than Ortiz for all
come
we
on,
know.
man. Like, just
So
keep it fair.
I'm the same way. Or let's not sit here and say, because you remember all of the fixed stuff started later, getting closer to the fight or after the fight with all the fixed stuff. But before you even hear the fight being fixed and this, that, and the third, this was the narrative. Canelo's just taking an easy fight.
Mm.
It's easy work. Ward gave up the blueprint. This is just another cherry pick for Canelo, right? Okay, so how can we say that about a fucking Kovalev, but then you sit there and defend Tank fighting a 38-year-old Gamboa on his way out the door, who is also older than Kovalev? It's the same hypocrisy, bro. It's the same hypocrisy. So I'm like, man, get out of here. I'm going to hold
Or
all
if Wilder washes out Ortiz, right? Washes Ortiz again, right?
which he will.
And then all of a sudden AJ fights him, and now all of a sudden, AJ fighting the old Ortiz. You should have fought Ortiz. Wilder took the fight out of him. Blah, like, come on,
right.
man. Come on.
Right. And which is really a bullshit narrative, because I've been on record saying this, and I'm saying it all the way up to the fight. Wilder took it out of Ortiz in that first fight. That's why he's going to obliterate him in this second fight. After that first fight, when the man was bent over, drooling on the goddamn canvas, he has aged every day and declined every day since that fight. So we're not even getting anywhere close to the Ortiz that he fought 2 years ago. We're not getting that, bro. We're not getting that. Nothing close to that. And so it's going to be a older version of Ortiz who has lost a step or two. Wilder's going to knock him out easier and earlier. I'm telling you. I don't care how much they try to build and pump this fight up like Ortiz is all this and all that. Ortiz was okay, but he's not anymore. It's not going to be as bad as what Wilder did in the second fight with Stavern, because he just totally obliterated him. So it's not going to be that bad. But I don't see Ortiz making it past 6 rounds.
Right.
Not at all.
Me neither.
Not past 6 rounds.
I don't see it going past the middle rounds. Like, I
No.
barely see it going 2-6, but I'm saying that's as far as it's gonna go.
That's as far as it goes. Ain't no deep waters in this fight. Ain't no testing the fucking stamina in this fight. No, none of that. That man's gonna sleep that dude earlier and easier. Mark my words, bro. If that fight, I'm pretty sure Champ is gonna have that fight in the prediction league. So the only thing that I'm trying to figure out right now is what round between 6 or 1 am I going to pick the knockout in? That's what I'm trying to figure out, bro.
Right. Exactly what I said. But you're right, BX NYC, man. I'm damned if I do. I'm damned if I don't. If I call it down the middle, like if I say anything good about Joshua, I'm a Wilder hater. If I say anything good about Wilder, I'm a Joshua hater. There is no middle ground. You can't be down the middle. And it's based on, not to say it's anybody in the chat today, but it's basically you people that are watching it and that are subscribed. You guys are the ones that paint this picture about the people y'all watch that is not necessarily true, or that could be true. You know what I mean? So it's like,
that's why you got to get like me, bro, because I try to call it as down the middle as possible. I don't really, attack nobody. I try to stay neutral, but I got this whole attitude like, fuck it. I don't care. I don't give a fuck if you like what I say or not. So that will help your situation. Like those 2 words really helps out the situation. Fuck it. Like Charlie Murphy said, that's why I said fuck it.
Fuck it. Man, it's just like, I'm just calling it down the middle, man. I'm just trying to be fair. And shout out to the UK, because the UK fans are very knowledgeable in boxing. A couple of UK fans have put me on to a lot of the things that's going on in UK boxing. Shout out to the UK fans for that. And I love having people from the UK chime in to my channel. I love the knowledge that the UK bring, because most people that's from the UK that follow boxing are very knowledgeable in boxing. So God save the Queen. Love y'all from the UK, man. Appreciate y'all boxing knowledge, man.
Queen Lisa just stepped in the building. What up, Lisa?
What's up, Lisa?
Yo, bro, I'm with you on that, boom, with the UK fans, man. And I'm gonna take it a step further. My foreign I would say foreign, off the soil of America. And nothing against my American listeners to speak at Mind Sports Talk family, but my foreign listeners, man, they're super loyal, bro. Like, they're super loyal. They don't come with all of that bullshit. I have lost subscribers from certain videos I put up because you know me, I'm always putting up something somebody ain't gonna like to hear. So what I'm noticing is that my foreign fans, the guys from Europe or would be from I got fans from a lot of different places, Philippines and some more shit. But my fans of that nature, they'll challenge what I say, but they'll stay subscribed and they'll kick it with me. They'll be like, "Well, D, I'm not necessarily sure I can agree with that, and here I'll tell you why." And then they'll give me their opinion. We might go back and forth, but then they're still there. They're still subscribers. My American fans just get mad and unsubscribe, bro.
Yeah, and that's the thing I don't like. The American fans, y'all get mad at us and then y'all unsubscribe. And then the ones that give us the most negative energy are not even people that are opposite of our skin tone. The people that give us the most flack and the most drama.
Yeah. All day long, bro. All day long.
Same color as I am. Not white, not Mexican, not Asian. They the same color as me. They give me the most problems.
Niggas, the worst. The worst fans.
My own mind.
My fellow Negroes, stop treating me so bad.
Because I'm telling the truth, and I'm not telling the truth the way y'all want me to tell it. I'm just being
it's true, bro. We get all of the hate, all of the people out there that call us ignorant. We don't know what we talk about. We don't know shit about boxing. We groupies or we riding for whatever. It's all black fans. I don't get that from any of my European or foreign fans. And I can't really tell who's black or white just by name, but you can damn sure tell who's black or white by the conversation, by the way things are said and what's written. First and foremost, most white people in this country are reluctant to say nigga.
Yep.
So if most of them coming at you with you just a dumb nigga, then 9 times out of 10 they black. Black. Yeah, nah, you good. So I mean, it is what it is, bro. Like I get the harsh statements, the worst comments, the worst shots are taken from me, taken at me from my fellow black people. That's how it is. I mean, look, I got Puerto Rican inside of me too, and none of them come at me like that, bro. Even if I done said shit about Danny Garcia. We all like Danny, but they ain't come at me like that. Let me say something about Spencer Wilder. Oh my God. Come on, the woodwork killing me, dog.
Oh my God. And that's the thing. That's why I'm doing this debate for that exact reason. So when I make a video about Wilder and y'all keep saying, oh, you hating on Wilder, and Wilder's the greatest. Come on in. Just like y'all had that thing to say about when I put 75, all the pay-per-views and all that. And the first thing y'all dumb motherfuckers said was, all in wasn't Showtime. That's how you stupid.
But it
wasn't even about it being on Showtime for all you smart people. It was the fact that we are paying $75 for these pay-per-views. And guess who is getting the $600 per person? PBC. Okay, that was my point. Okay, that $600, that $1,200 all together. If me and D was to be doing that, paying for all the pay-per-views plus the subscription, that's $600 from me, $600 from D. So what is that? That's $1,200. So if you got over 600,000 people paying $600 to see fights, what you think that's gonna do for PBC? Not Showtime, not Fox. We talking about PBC. They get all the money. Fox and Showtime, they get their percentage, but the people that get the bulk of it is the PBC fighters and the PBC brand company, bro. I mean, let me know if I'm lying, D. Let me know if I'm lying.
You're damn right, bro. I mean, that's just how it is, bro. That's just how it is. And, they always hear the things that you and I and IBFP or Black Horseman, whatever, they always hear the things that we say that they want to complain and bitch about, but they don't never hear us say shit like, well, actually, Wilder is one of the best heavyweights. Wilder, I give mad respect to Wilder for this. I give mad respect to Wilder for that. Like when we say these things, they never hear that shit. It's like we never say that. And like, so if we're so much haters, do you know how many times I have heard Boone say the respect that he gives to Wilder for this, that, and the third? I have sat there on my channel and made videos. Stop disrespecting Deontay Wilder. How the fuck am I a Wilder hater if I put a video up on my channel about stop disrespecting this man? Because at certain levels, he is disrespected where he needs to be respected at. And we'll point those things out, but they never hear that, Boom. They never hear that. The only thing they hear is when we say Wilder is not the #1 pound for pound. Oh, you just a fucking hater. You don't know shit about boxing. And I'm like, oh my God, here we go.
And the first thing I say is, okay, well, how am I lying? And how can you prove what I'm saying wrong?
They cannot.
If you can't do that, shut up, sit down, go count something, read a book, go write an essay or some shit. Because if you can't prove what I'm telling you or what I'm saying is wrong, then don't say nothing. Be quiet. Just be silent. I don't watch LDBC channels. Let me be clear about that. When y'all ask me about have I watched this or have I watched that, because somebody commented if I watched it. She asked if have we seen BTFB's pound for pound list and blah blah blah. No. Okay. And I'm glad you spoke on that, because I don't have no heavyweight except Usyk, because he's fighting at heavyweight now. Usyk is the only heavyweight that I have on the pound for pound list. I have no heavyweight. Anthony Joshua, Wilder, Andy Ruiz, Fury. I don't have no heavyweight aside from Alexander Usyk on the pound for pound list. And why I have Alexander Usyk on the pound for pound list is because he's a former unified, undisputed, lineal cruiserweight champion and has moved up to heavyweight and won. So he has been successful in multiple weight classes. So in that sense, his skill level transcends weight classes. So he deserves to be on the pound for pound list. D, correct me if I'm wrong, D, please.
No, actually, I have him on mine too. And for the exact same reasons. Because to be perfectly honest, bro, it's not a reason of a lot of people say, oh, I don't care what tradition says. I'm going to put this or that heavyweight on my pound for pound list. Well, it's more than just traditionally. It's traditionally why heavyweights. Because when you say pound for pound, they put the whole thing in there because you can't honestly say, like, let's take a Naoya Inoue and let's take Deontay Wilder. Now, both of these guys have extraordinary punch power, but we know technically that Naoya Inoue is not hitting anywhere near as hard as Deontay Wilder. We know that. So this is where pound for pound comes in. So when you talk about the highest weight, the strongest puncher, this is why most of the times these guys were nullified from the conversation, because the comparison is more to them. It's more to that division. It's more to the hardest hitting guys, the hardest acting guys. Also, pound for pound traditionally don't have the higher skill boxers, the better foot movement, the head movement, you know what I mean? All of that generally comes from lower weights, and this is why you don't usually get heavyweights on that pound for pound list. But as Boone said with Usyk, he was a cruiserweight, and he did things and accomplished things there before he moved up. So not one did he compete in two different divisions already, but he already has 4-belt undisputed. So he gets my respect. He's shown the skills in the ring. That's something else that pound for pound is considered, what you can do in that ring. Your IQ, your generalship, your lateral movement, transitioning your weight, your defensive abilities, your skill set, your overall skill set to the sweet science. And Usyk has proven a lot of this. So I have him in my top 5 too. Right now, he's actually 5. He was 4 before Inoue beat Nonito Donaire. I had those guys switched up. I had Inoue at 5 and I had Usyk as 4. But I moved Inoue past him. I can't really honestly move Inoue past Lomachenko, so I have to keep Lomachenko at 3rd, Inoue at 4, and I previously had Crawford number 1 until Canelo beat Kovalev. So I had to switch those guys up. So I have Canelo number 1, Crawford number 2, Lomo 3, Anui 4, and Usyk number 5. That's my top pound for pound. 5, my top 5.
I don't see how they had. I get it. You guys are fans, but y'all not honest and objective. Errol Spence and Julian J. Rock Williams and Deontay Wilder should not be on nobody's pound for pound list.
Well,
if you're gonna put Julian J. Rock Williams on your pound for pound list, then Jamal Charlo should be on your pound for pound list.
I can accept J. Rock and Spence being in the top 10. Top 5, I mean, everybody got their own shit. You know, IBFP, Newt, what up, bro?
What's up, Newt?
Everybody got their own shit, but top 5, I'm going to say this. I don't agree with that shit. I ain't going to say they shouldn't be there because these guys got their own reason. It's subjective, so they can put them where they want. But I don't agree with that no way, no day. I don't agree with Wilder being in the top 10 because I can easily think of 10 guys that deserve to be there before him. With Spence and J-Rock, I can understand the argument. And the biggest thing with me with Wilder is if you look at the 5 names that I gave you for pound, every one of these guys fucking went unified, bro. Wilder didn't even unify. That's one feat that he did not even unify that belt, bro. Y'all talking about these 10 title defenses and the fact that he fought guys heavier than him. Shut the fuck up. It's the heavyweight division. There's no fucking weight limit, bro. Like, you're going to fight guys heavier than you. Guys heavier are going to fight guys lighter than them. So that I'm not really trying to hear that. Heavyweights don't have to worry about cutting weight. That's not something heavyweights have to worry about. So I don't want to hear the weight difference in who Wilder has fought. But just simply telling me 10 title defenses and 40 knockouts is enough to make you number 1. It's not like they put him in the top 5 pound for pound. They put him at number 1 because of this. Dude, he's the only one. Like, everybody on my list has been unified. Unified. This man has not even fucking unified a title, and you're telling me number 1. I can't agree with that. I can't agree with that at all.
Wilder, man, at this point, if you want to be technical, Errol Spence has done more in boxing than Deontay Wilder, just on the fact because he's fought in the unification bout and he is a unified champion.
Right.
Okay. I don't take away the fact that Wilder has defended his belt 10 times or whatever. I don't take that away from him. I go on record and say that. Okay. But out of all of that, he's only fought, from what I know, 2 mandatories. And you're supposed to fight a mandatory every year that you hold the belt. And he's held the belt for how long? And out of the whole time he's held the belt, he's only fought 2 mandatories.
Right.
Okay. So he is not a true champion, in my opinion. Okay.
And then,
he's not fighting tough top 10 opponents back to back, and knocking them out.
And shout out to Flame On too. Shout out to Flame On 24 too, because he made a good point. All of these motherfuckers, Wilder fanboys, that's crying about, the title defenses, the consecutive title defenses. Well, Flame On made this point. He just went to a draw with Fury, so that ends it. That ends title defense wins. You're not doing them consecutively because that draw stopped the streak. You didn't win that fight. That draw.
Guess what they gonna say? You a hater. You right though.
That's a fact though. That's a fact.
That's facts. But you a hater.
Is not a win. So it stops your streak. And Hamed Ali just said, I have Spence ahead of Pac. Man, Manny is a legend, but this is the present. So that type of shit right there with that explanation, that I can accept. I don't, you know what I mean? I would actually put Manny ahead of Spence still because he just beat Thurman Hamed, but I can accept and appreciate your look on that, how you have him ahead of him in the top 10. Like, I don't have a problem with that, bro, because if you come with some type of validity on the situation, then yeah, you know what I mean? It's all good, but don't just tell me he's number 1 because of 40 fucking knockouts and 10 title defenses. Dog, that's not enough to put you at number 1 for, pound for pound. Like, come on, bro. But what Hamed said with the Spence situation, like, yeah, that's acceptable. You know what I mean? That's acceptable right there. You don't have to agree with it.
I don't have him top 5. I can't put Spence top 5.
No, I got him top 10. I don't have him top 5.
I have him top 10. I have him top 10. I will say Spence is top 10 pound for pound. Top 5, no. You reaching saying he top 5.
And down at the lower end of top 10. I don't know if Ahmed said top 5. He just said ahead of Manny. But his reasoning, I think, was acceptable, bro. Like I couldn't accept that reasoning for it. But he didn't really give him a number or anything. But I have Spence in the top 10, but at the lower end. And I'm a Spence fan, so fuck all of you who don't like it. Everybody knows I'm a Spence fan. But I got him in the top 10, but at the lower end, maybe 9 or 10. Like, that's it. No higher than that, because there's easily guys that go over top of him that deserves to be. I mean, you can look at Leo Santa Cruz in the situation of the multiple titles he's captured in the different divisions. And I don't care about, oh, this one was easy and that one, because guys get into that. Well, Spence just unified this year, bro. Outside of that, he had the one title from Brook, and he hadn't really accomplished much. So if you're going to sit here and argue me down about Leo Santa Cruz being over Spence on the top 10 pound for pound, then try your best. But you're not going to have much to go on, because he fought Mikey Garcia moving up in weight. Then he fought Kell Brook, who was all the best fights.
Yo, what's good, DT3? Thanks for having me on, bro.
What's up, Hefe, man?
What up, D?
What's up, bro?
What are you guys cooking on? What's going on?
I'm trying to find somebody to debate.
Boxing, but I'm getting ready to cook on you a little bit right quick, because nigga, now you done found out Boxing Monster was the one that booted your ass off my channel. You know that to be true, and you just seen that tangible in the damn chat, and I needed to get his email. So stop fucking annoying me with this debate, bro.
No, I just told Intangible to give you his email. That's what I told him.
Annoying me with the block shit from your channel, because I told your ass I didn't block you, and I don't have his email. So you are a fucking worse ass dude. You know what I mean? Now you know the truth.
Hey, D, if you don't want to smoke, man, I'll just tell me. I'll just stop flaming your ass. We're okay with that.
Man, this is open debate, man. This is open debate. This is not DT Magnus. This is my open debate. So all bets are off.
Oh, well, get Intangible on here, man. We can fix it up right here. Get Intangible on here.
Boom. Don't listen to nothing this fool say. That nigga couldn't burn me if he was a fucking flamethrower himself, dog. This nigga, you catching no flame. I done bodied this nigga so much. I told him to call the Texas PD where he is down there and tell him to physically go body bag. I'm running out.
What's up, Intangible? We got Intangible boxing in the building.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
How's it going, bro? I'm doing fine.
You a little staticky,
I'll
bro.
be right back. I gotta run and get me a cigar right quick. Boom.
Bro.
If you need somebody else to come on, Boom, just kick me out. You know, I'll be back in a minute.
All
right.
What's going on, man?
All right, well.
What's going on, Intangible?
Nothing much right now. I just had to hop on. If when D comes back, I'll give him my email. I'll tell him my email. Okay. Because I'm willing to debate El Jefe. I'm not ducking nobody.
Hey, you finna get the smoke, man, because I saw you talking on Jalik's Reckless, man.
What's the debate about? What are you guys debating about? What's the
we're freestyling. First, we're talking about Tanaka and Tank Davis, like who should be in the pound for pound list, and then we're talking about Areola with Povetkin, like who was better.
Yeah, this dude tried to say
basically we're freestyling.
Chris Areola was better than Alexander Povetkin.
No. I didn't say that. I said they're in the same level, which is the B level.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
because this dude was trying to say that Povetkin was much better than Areola. He was a much better name than Areola. I was like, nah, bro, they're in the same level. You can't do that.
Well, that's a fact, because Povetkin has a way better resume. I think even you would agree that Povetkin has better wins than Chris Areola. But that's for another day. Okay.
Yeah, we'll leave that to the debate. So what else are you cooking on, T3?
I'm just waiting on Khalil Nebbit to slide up in here. He ain't never slid up in my streams to really talk this real talk, but he always avoid me. So I got this one guy. Oh, what's up, man? Gotta holler at you. What's going on, bro?
DT3.
Welcome to the panel.
Thank you. How's everybody doing?
We all good. What can I do for you today, bro? What can I do for you? What you got for me?
Nothing. I always listen to your videos. I always enjoy them. So I decided to roll up on the panel, and anything anybody's debating, I like to be part of it.
Feel free. So also I saw your video about my comment on Ronnie Shields. What is your rebuttal for what I said about Ronnie Shields?
Who's that, me?
Yeah. I saw your video on what I said about Ronnie Shields.
I'm trying to remember what the video was about.
I said Ronnie Shields was an idiot for saying that he don't need Boo Boo Andrade, who is the WBO world champ.
Oh yeah. I mean, I don't know why they're saying these things. Even Jamal Charlo talking about Boo Boo that way. I don't understand it. I really don't. Because it makes no sense what they were saying.
Right. I agree 100%. All the way. Because I don't see how you could say somebody who has a world title, don't have nothing to offer you, and they have a whole world title. They're undefeated.
Yeah.
They got a 75% knockout ratio, which is a higher ratio than you.
Yeah.
Still, they're not worth your time. Now, I could see if he didn't have a belt, if he was a contender, you could pull that if he's in the same position as Jerron Enos. Even though Jerron Enos is a great fighter, I'm not saying he's not. I'm just saying the position that he's in, not holding a world title and just being a contender. You could pull that with him, even though I still call it a duck, but you could pull that with a fighter that's in his position. But a fighter that has the record that Boo Boo has, that has a world title that Boo Boo has, it's kind of hard to say. So basically, I think if he don't want to be,
that's a unification bout. You know what I mean? That's a unification bout. He has a belt to offer you. He has the prestige of you beating him to offer you. I mean,
but I mean, we all know why Charlo's. We all know why Charlo is saying this. We all know why Charlo is saying this because Boo Boo Andrade would beat the ballerina dress off of Jamal Charlo. And he would.
But how can he say that when he ducked the first time that they're gonna fight?
He never ducked.
Charlo at 154 never wanted to fight, and he never ducked. Never. Charlo was the one who didn't want to fight at 154.
Why did Dudu drop off to fight him?
That was Jamel.
Man, Boo Boo was at literally at Jamal Charlo's press conferences after the J-Rock fight, calling him out. Okay, he wanted to fight.
Yeah, Jamal, not Jamel. Jamel is the one that he was supposed to face, and then he said something about some contract or something.
Hey, two hands, man. If you got,
I think Jamel was also
chime in, bro. If you got some time on your hands, two hands, bro. Slide in here, bro. I'll send a link in the chat. Slide in, two hands.
I think Jamel.
Go ahead.
I think Jamel was also on the J-Rock Charlo card or Jamal Charlo card. So he was calling both of them out.
The thing is, these young guns need to face each other, right? If you can't be just saying Canelo. Some people are saying, Canelo's the number one, so they should be going after the number one. Absolutely. But they also prove themselves to be the best in their different sanctioning bodies. So the best should face the best. That's how I look at it.
It's because all these dudes are just waiting online for a Canelo shot. Instead of fighting each other, just waiting for a Canelo shot.
Yeah, Canelo, he doesn't care about belts anymore. The way he chooses fights is if it don't make dollars, then it don't make sense. He needs these guys to build the profile to face him. That's why, in my opinion, he's going to go to the UK and face somebody at 168, like Price Smith, in my opinion, because, he's going to face guys who have the fan base, and he can start building off of them by beating them, improving himself in these different divisions.
I think Canelo's doing the same thing these young guns are doing. He's trying to build his resume off of guys that have established themselves in the business and actually have names on their resume. So he's doing that, and Charlo and Demetrius Andrade and Billy Joe Saunders, they're chasing after him because he got names on his resume. So everybody's chasing the guys who have their resume sort of set, and they don't want to face each other to put each other on each other's resume and build their own legacy.
I agree. I think Colin Smith, like my homie Boxing Logic United just said, shout out to my boy Double M. He said like Colin Smith don't make dollars, and I think that's really what it is nowadays. If let's say my boy, what you need, if I don't make over 5 million to fight you, you know, I'm not fighting you. I don't care if you're a great fighter. I don't care if you got a 80% knockout ratio. I don't give a damn. They ain't finna pay me 10 million to fight you, so I ain't finna fight you. You're a great fighter, hell of a guy, but they don't pay me enough, so you're a waste of my time.
Hey, boxing logics. I understand where you're coming from, but who else? Because I don't think Canelo's going to move down to 160. To be honest, I think that's going to be a steep hill to climb to be able to make 160 from now on, because he's always had trouble making those two weights. To be honest, but at 168 and 175, at 168, who is a bigger name than Callum Smith? Benavidez.
Silly Ho Saunders.
Billy Joe Saunders is a bigger name than Colin. No. I mean, I know where you're going. I know where you're going.
No, I don't think so.
No, Billy Joe's a bigger name because he's gonna talk his shit and he's gonna promote the fight.
I'm not saying tangible. I'm
probably
agreeing with you. I'm not saying that you're wrong. What I'm saying is, in today's new age of boxing, Billy Joe Saunders is the bigger name. He has more fame. He has a bigger following. People relate to him more than Colin Smith. People still don't even know who Colin Smith is, and he's the WBC champ at 68. And people don't even know who he is. But people know who Billy Joe Saunders is. People do know who Billy Joe is. They do.
Because he just showed up on the biggest fight in boxing in a while. He did the KSI Logan Paul.
Right. Yeah. So he got that. Yeah. It's just like Tyson Fury. Like, how Tyson Fury bring his ass all the way from the UK and he more famous than Deontay Wilder? How he do that?
Well, he just was on the WWE. Now he's going to UFC.
Come on, bro. And we all know the WWE sell out every show the WWE put out. It sells out. So you got your UK following, and then you got the American fans from the WWE too.
and then he's going to UFC. He's going to do a UFC fight.
Yep, he's training.
So he's gonna pull in those UFC fans.
Right. I just saw a video of him on BT Sports training with Darren Till. Doing elbows and knees and shit. Like, come on, bro.
Yep. Conor McGregor was the first person, I think, to really push that anvil, because Conor's famous now. He did boxing. He hung in there with Floyd Mayweather, and he also has done MMA. So he kind of has different streams, and Fury's trying to do the same thing.
Fury trying to get that big money.
Yeah, man. But I mean,
my thing is, why isn't they putting Wilder in that market? Wilder is an American. He's already out here. He's already in this market. So why wouldn't y'all put Wilder with the personality that he has? Why y'all didn't put him in the WWE? Why y'all didn't do that for him? Why y'all didn't do that? Why y'all not putting him in all these multi-million-dollar commercials and movies and all that shit? He's the American heavyweight champ.
Yeah, but I think they promoted him differently. So they put him on TV so that people could see Wilder. They put him on TV, or he's just on Showtime? He did anything on Fox?
I haven't seen him do anything on Fox. Last thing I saw Wilder do was Billions. I saw him do Billions, but he was basically being a mid holder, doing a little one or two liners here or there. But he's not really doing nothing major. Well, somebody said that he had made $30 million last year in movies, and I'm like, well, what movies was he in to make $30 million? Somebody let me know. I'm not saying he didn't do it. I'm saying I haven't seen nothing that says Wilder is in this picture, in this movie, and that movie, and he's making this amount of money. I ain't hearing none of that from the real boxing news. I'm hearing that from LDBC people and Wilder fans. So I have a hard time believing that. And if he really did it, cool, great. Because my issue was, where is Wilder going to get $120 million from? Where else in Wilder's career is he's going to get a payout like that? Somebody let me know.
I guess if he becomes undisputed, he has everything to all the star qualities. He just doesn't have the I don't know. He hasn't quite got the fight yet.
He hasn't really marketed himself as much. Like you don't see him really on commercials or nothing like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, he should be doing commercials. He like Wilder face should be on every main. Like, every time it's a football game, you should see Wilder. Every time it's a baseball game, you should see Wilder. When it's a hockey game, any type of sporting event in America, you should see the American heavyweight champion. Period.
Right.
Period.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we seeing more of Tyson Fury in our own country. We seeing a dude from another country more than our own countrymen on our television. That don't make sense. I don't appreciate that. I don't like how y'all doing Wilder with that one. Wilder should be getting promoted on everything. Wilder face should be on everything. And it shouldn't have took Anthony Joshua to hit the scene for them to even think about doing that shit. Wilder been champ.
Yeah,
I'm just saying he deserved it. If he been champ for this long and he's everything that everybody's been saying about him, he deserves that. He deserves to be on every platform. He deserves to make a good substantial amount of money doing what he does. I'm just saying, just to be fair to Deontay Wilder.
Well, maybe the LDBC has enough promotion. I don't know. Maybe that's just.
I think doesn't Wilder promote himself though?
No, he's promoted through through Al Heyman and Floyd Mayweather and Leonard Ellerbe and Shelly Finkel. And it was irritating to me. And I want to get y'all take on this because I get tired of hearing about this when I say the $120 million. And maybe y'all know more about it, more in depth than I do. Okay, it's better to get more people's opinions. But people have been telling me that Anthony Joshua was not a part of the $120 million deal. Let me finish. And I feel like if Anthony Joshua was not a part of the $120 million deal, when Shelly Finkel did that interview, when he said out his own mouth in front of God and everybody that we received a substantial offer from Joshua and Eddie Hearn, he did not say, and that's the perfect time to say that Anthony Joshua wasn't a part of the contract. If that was true, I will believe that Shelly Finkel would have said that Anthony Joshua wasn't a part of the contract. That's why we're not taking the fight. And Shelly Finkel didn't say that. I don't know where Blue Bloods in 78 getting that from, but that's what I've been told. What are your guys' take on it? I'm gonna start off with what you need. What's your take on that? What you need? Then I'm gonna go to intangible.
I mean, I don't really think he made a bad decision. I think that I think you have to look at the long term of the long game. We know Anthony Joshua would have been the A side, and we don't know what would accompany that. Maybe you'd have to have a couple of fights with DAZN, like how Kovalev has to have some fights with DAZN, and he probably didn't want that, so he wanted his independence.
Hold on, you don't think it was a bad decision that he didn't take the $120 million?
Everything's not money, you know what I'm saying? You have to, like I said before. I think that Wilder I think he's his own promoter. That he has managers that manage his career.
Wait, hold on. How did you say everything's not money when Wilder said it's all about the money?
Hold on, let me ask him a question.
Well, what I mean by that is you're talking 120 million now, but you are signed with DAZN. It's not like a one deal, one fight contract.
But if
right?
he is on
and
promoter,
it wasn't guaranteed that he would face Anthony Joshua next.
If he is promoter,
he was going to get the Anthony Joshua twice.
Where else could he possibly get $120 million if you feel as though he's his own promoter? And if DAZN,
well, you'll see.
If DAZN's number one or number two is Anthony Joshua or Canelo Alvarez, why would they fire him for a 3-fight deal contingent upon $20 million for Dominic Brazil and the other 2 fights $50 million per? They wouldn't give that to anybody else but their biggest marquee fighter that's going to bring in that type of gate or bring in that type of broadcast. Correct?
Facts.
Yeah, but my point is, once again, you don't want to be bound.
He's his own biggest promoter.
You don't.
So if
you don't want
to be biggest promoter, what is he possibly bringing to his own table that's bigger than $120 million that would make you stand down from a deal like that?
You'll see, because think about this. When Andy Ruiz, let me put it this way. If Andy Ruiz beats Anthony Joshua a second time, Wilder's in a position to become undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, right? Which means he will be undoubtedly the A side for every
single generate $120 million.
That's what he said. I'm telling you, you have to look down the road. So when you look down the road, this guy's the A side. You're looking down the road.
But bro, but that was before the Andy Ruiz fight, man.
But
what are you talking about?
No, my point is,
we gotta look at what's really going on. What's really going on is nobody else in boxing other than Canelo Alvarez and Manny Pacquiao generate the kind of money Anthony Joshua generates. Deontay Wilder's biggest purse was only $8 million. So to turn down $120 million in a 3-fight deal, that's kind of asinine, correct? If you a businessman,
no, not really.
Not really. People around
not if you know that later on you will become the heavyweight champion of the world. There's no way the heavyweight champion of the world will make $8 million. It's not going to happen.
If he's
so you have to look down the road
for 4 years and his biggest payday is $8 million. What has he done?
But he's not undisputed. He's not undisputed.
He's not even tried to become undisputed.
But when he does become undisputed,
he's had how many opportunities already? What is he doing now? What is he doing right now that is generating him a positive income to say he did something that puts him in the positive for 2020? I don't see anything other than him going in the negatives for 2019. I'm sorry, not 2020. What has he done for 2019 that's going to put him in the positives?
Again, a lot of times people don't take their time and proceed with their career one fight at a time to see that there are people who have a vision for Deontay Wilder. There is a plan for him.
Isn't
right?
4 years
what
a
I'm
long
saying
time
is,
to be heavyweight champion to not have a vision for the people around you that's supposed to have a vision for you?
You see, a lot of times we as fight fans, we only watching the things now. We're not seeing down the road. We're not seeing the plan. All right, and everything goes fight by fight.
How many fights can a fighter have 1 year? Can you answer that?
How many fights? What I'm telling you is,
realistically, how many fights can a fighter have in 1 year?
Let me put it to you this way: by the end of 2020, Wilder will have the opportunity. By the end of 2020, I can see this, that Wilder will have the opportunity to become the undisputed heavyweight champion.
He will only have the opportunity to become the undisputed heavyweight champion on an if. That's if Andy Ruiz beats Anthony Joshua on December 7th. That's if, Deontay Wilder can beat Andy Ruiz after the fact. So you hoping on a lot of ifs, man. Hopes don't pay the bills, man. And hope isn't putting marquee dollars in that man's pockets for having this so-called vision and being a promoter, as you say.
Like I said before, we got to watch as it unfolds. But I do believe that I do believe they have a plan. I do believe there's a plan. I do believe that in the end, in the end, I do believe that Deontay Wilder will be able to be in that position where he will be able to gross a lot more money than just $120 million.
Triple G legacy is already tarnished basically by what he didn't do, and he made money. So money don't dictate everything in boxing. And Deontay Wilder hasn't made a dime or made a legacy, and he's only 3 years younger than Triple G. So in how much time, and being 4 years as the heavyweight champion, and the next, let's say 2 to 3 years, what could he produce in that time that's going to generate $120 million? That's the question I'm asking you.
And you will get your answer in time.
Oh,
but you have to watch. Stay tuned.
I'm done.
You got to stay tuned. A lot of boxing fans, they always want everything now. They always feel the decisions are poor. And then when you look down the road, like I was questioning the WBC with the franchise belt.
We're not looking for instant gratification if it's been 4 years. You can't have instant gratification if you've been heavyweight champ for 4 years. What are you talking about? We want it now. We want him to do something.
We always want it now. As boxing fans, you always want it now. You always want it now.
He has 40 professional fights. In his 31st fight, he was fighting the Malice at the Mall. This man
has he faced and who has he beat?
You're talking about we want things now. Don't you want your heavyweight champion to produce? Don't you want your heavyweight champion to take on challenges? Because he has not done it.
And he is doing that. If you do it, he's doing that now.
In 23 fights, that's unified for.
Bro, hold on, dude. So Deontay Wilder had what did he make versus Deontay Wilder? Versus Dominic Cruz? What do you guys know? Do any of you guys know? Because I'm
like
trying to
5 million,
quickly.
5 million, I think.
Yes. Had he signed with DAZN and taken the 3-fight deal, he would have made what, 20 million down in Brazil? Okay, so financially, the DAZN deal has already proven to make a lot more sense than what Deontay Wilder's doing now. I'm just saying.
And a bad
I'm
promoter,
just
as
gonna
you
throw that
say,
out
because
there.
he only made 10 mil for Dominic Brazil, and that was based off what he was going to get paid in the DAZN deal. So I don't understand what you talking about.
Yeah, but he's free to face whoever he wants after that. Whereas he would have had to face somebody that the zone would have recruited.
You're right. You talking about Mr. Dodger
Okay.
mandatory. I mean, he's gonna face
No, but
Tyson. He's gonna face Tyson Fury. He's gonna face Tyson Fury. He's still not gonna generate 120 million off that. Tyson Fury's last fight, he only bought 3 million. He only bought 3,000 tickets on the gate. Come on, bruh.
Like I said before, he has more control over his career, so he can do whatever he wants.
Look,
he's a puppet, mate.
If he was tied down to his zone, if he was tied down
20% of something, bro.
Again, you listen. If you hear me out, you will hear that I'm making sense. I'm not a Wilder fan like some people,
look,
and
man,
I'm also not. I'm not a Wilder hater. Okay, I'm just looking at it from a balanced perspective. You have a lot more control over your career, what you want to do, who you want to face, and if he didn't want to give that up,
okay, stop right there. Stop right there, control, because I gotta ask you a question. So he was going to sign a 3-fight deal with DAZN. How fast could he have got done of that deal with that deal, made more money than he's ever made in his career, and still have that control that you speak of right now?
No, he wouldn't have had the control because it would have to be approved by DAZN.
How?
It has to be approved by it has to be approved by DAZN.
Man.
So he would have had as you said, Dominic Brazil.
Can somebody
who the next fighter would be, we don't know.
And then
he's not guaranteed to face Anthony Joshua. When we saw Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz, we just saw that in front of our face.
Was the deal before?
So Anthony Joshua is going, and he's going into an immediate rematch with Andy Ruiz. He's going into an immediate rematch with Andy Ruiz. Okay, so as far as I'm concerned, I thought he made a smart decision. I also think that
what you say that Wilder ducked? That's what I want to know. What you say that Wilder ducked?
I'm with somebody being able to be in control of that. Somebody
answer
being in control of their own
did Wilder duck? Yes or no?
Let me finish my thought, and then I can always answer you. And when Wilder, with Wilder being in control of his career, he can actually dictate where he wants to go, who he wants to fight, how he prepares for those fights. Unlike with Anthony Joshua, where the fight with Jarrell Miller fell through, this short-term replacement came in and he ended up getting knocked out, right? So all I'm saying is I'm watching to see how his career pans out and how things work out. I'm not like those typical boxing fans. I try not to be, at least. We're looking at things. We're looking at
his next fight after Brazil would have been the Joshua fight, bro. Assuming he wants the Joshua fights, he should have taken that, bro.
Hey, bro, answer my question, man.
What was the question?
Where we're looking at
okay.
Did Wilder duck the DAZN deal and the Anthony Joshua fights? Yes or no? Fuck all that other shit.
I don't know about duck. He didn't want it, and that's what he did. He went another direction.
That's a duck. Okay.
I can't say he ducked it because who did he face after? Who did he face after? He faced Tyson Fury after. You can't call that a duck. If he went and faced a bum of the month, yes.
Okay, so
bro, this was after the Tyson Fury fight. What are you talking about? It was after.
Hold up. So facing the lineal champion is more important than facing the dude that got 4 belts. I just want you to help me understand that logic, because Anthony Joshua at the time had 4 belts, and Fury only was the so-called lineal champion. So you mean to tell me that fighting for the lineal title is more important than having 5 belts under your belt under you instead of 1?
I'm asking you a question. Who do you consider the number 1 heavyweight in the world?
Who do I consider the number 1 heavyweight?
Right now, I would have to consider Andy Ruiz.
He got 4 belts. He is the best because he got 4 belts. If it was Wilder, I would say Wilder, even though I don't like the nigga. If Wilder had
I don't think it's Wilder. I don't think it's Ruiz. I think it's Tyson Fury.
He's the more charismatic of the heavyweights, but he's not the better of the heavyweights.
What does Tyson Fury have right now that makes him the best heavyweight in the world? You can look at any fighter and talk about intangibles, but they can't be the best fighter in the world. The best fighter in the world is dictated off of straps. And who has the most straps? The guy that beat the supposed best fighter in the world, and that's Andy Ruiz. Tyson Fury doesn't have anything to make that claim.
And that's the same dude that vacated
he beat Vladimir. He beat Vladimir Klitschko, who was.
And then he went on a coke bench and
the
a
man.
bench too.
Wait, hold up,
that was 4 years ago with a 2-year layoff.
Hold up. Y'all want to talk about belts? To me, belts collect dust. I always think it's who you beat and who you fought that really determines how
That's
good.
just straight out of the LDBC, man. That comment is straight out of the LDBC.
Hey, look, man, I'm out.
And I also
this
believe
is Groundhog Day for me, bros. I'm gonna let somebody else jump in here.
And I also believe that it's not only who you fought and who you beat, but it's when you fight them, right? It's when you fight them as well. So when you look at Tyson
bro,
Fury,
to me, all this shit is that you support the fuckery, bro.
How many of you guys? How many of you guys thought that Tyson Fury was going to win against?
It's fans like you that the fucking boxing game is all fucked up, man.
Hey, let me talk.
You're too lenient to this shit, man.
Okay, let Rago talk. Rago ain't said nothing the whole time, so let Rago talk. What's up, Rago?
It's like this, right? You take AJ and you take Tyson Fury, right? They done more in 25 fights than Wilder's done in his whole fucking career, right? Wilder was still fighting 6 to 8 rounds, 20 fights into his career. AJ and Fury had already won undisputed at that point in their careers. You know what I mean? Wilder's a joke, mate. And as for the comment about fucking dust collecting on the belts, mate, that was straight out of the fucking LDBC.
Because that's who's been saying. I'm not trying to shit on you, bro. I'm just saying, like, that's where that narrative comes from, is that belts collect dust. So if belts collect dust, that means belts don't mean nothing. They don't have no weight. They don't have. It's like you might as well say Jerron Enos is the best fighter ever, just because we're not validating how good fighters are off of them winning belts. So if a fighter wins a belt, it don't mean anything.
And Marvin Hagler's 7-year undisputed reign means nothing. Okay, yeah, Floyd Mayweather's 5 weight class championships mean nothing.
Mean nothing. It's going to mean if you base it on that belts collect dust, that means everything that Beehive did when he did his reign holding the belts, it means nothing. When Ali did what he did, means nothing.
Carlos Monzon's 9-year middleweight reign means nothing.
Nothing. Let
me ask you this question. I'm gonna ask you all this question so that you will understand what I'm saying, because I said belt collect dust. I wasn't trying to quote anybody, but I'm saying this. Gennady Golovkin, right? Defended his title, the regular belt or whatever, the paper belt first, and then it became the actual belt 14 times. Okay. Now he defended very well. He did even unified. Okay. But what were really his credible fights? When did he start facing elite competition?
Yeah, well, that point doesn't really mean that much, because we still gave him pound for pound status because he was able to unify and win 3 belts at the middleweight division.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. What are you trying to let you know? Like the people that Triple G fought and beat, like he fought Willie Monroe Jr., he's a name. He fought Danny Jacobs, he's a name. Who else did?
No. I said No, you can't call Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is elite competition. I'm not talking about with Danny Jacobs. I'm talking about before Danny Jacobs.
What?
So before Danny Jacobs, he had all these things. And in fact, he got the WBC belt. Wait. He got the WBC belt through a vacation, through a stripping. He got a belt. So that's a great thing. That's an accomplishment. I want to know.
Like, wait, so if somebody gets stripped and he get it, it's not an accomplishment if somebody got stripped and they just gave it. That's not
bro, I was gonna say the difference is that Triple G wanted those fights, bro, and he never ducked the contract, like a fucking formal contract, like Wilder did with Joshua.
Yeah. Matter of fact, Billy Joe Saunders ducked the undisputed matchup with Triple G. Billy Joe Saunders literally at the Chris Eubank. Hold on. He literally said at the Chris Eubank press conference, Triple G would beat both of us on the same night. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there.
My point is, I'm not even going to dispute that. I'm just going to go with points because I'll go all over the place. My point is, who you face and who you beat in your career is more important than trinkets. Okay? I'm not saying that being undisputed is not great, but you know what makes, to me, Usyk great at undisputed? He faced Maris Predis. Okay? Terrence Crawford became undisputed, and he faced Victor Pustol. Okay, that was a solid dude. That's what I find that can give some merit to his undisputed. But Pernell Whitaker becoming undisputed is totally different than Terrence Crawford becoming undisputed. Because he faced guys, he faced names, he faced people with proven resumes, with proven skills, with proven abilities. That's why I said, when I look at a guy's resume, it shows me not only his abilities and skills and craft, but at the highest level, because he's facing that guy equally at a high level as he is. So that's why I said names and who you face is important. If I, for instance, face easy guys, little bums and think I'm beating everybody, it's cool, right? But another guy who loses to a really credible fighter, I can't look at it and say, oh, yeah, this guy that beat bums and just blowing through everybody and knocking them out, he's better than this guy who faced a tough competition and got a split decision loss. I can't do that. You see, it's level of competition. So for me, yes, belts are great. They're great for guys starting. Canelo don't need no belts. Canelo's not going after belts anymore. He's beyond those belts. Floyd Mayweather's beyond the belts. Pacquiao's beyond the belts. But it's the thrill of facing the opponent that makes it now.
Wait, hold the fuck on. How is Canelo not going after belts if he just fucking won like 3 belts in a row?
I don't agree with that, because to say that the belts don't mean that, to say that the boxer is bigger than boxing, no boxer is bigger than boxing, because the belts are boxing. The belts are going to be here when these fighters are long gone, old men living a life. The belts are still going to be in boxing. So I can't agree with that. You know what I mean? Because the belts.
But my point is, the legacy of a fighter is based on the guys he faced. And we always talk about the great fights that happen, right? That's what makes a fighter great. If you want to be great, you go after greatness. You know what I'm saying? And you can have a little trinket or a trophy at the end of it. A belt is like a trinket or trophy, something to stand by to say, I beat this guy. I am the best. That's what the belt represents, right? But if you're the best of a pack of rats versus the best of gladiators, it's a totally different story. And that's why I said level of opposition to me counts more in a guy's resume than just a whole set of wins. And I kept this thing. It shows that I'm a good champion. It shows I could defend my title. But if my opposition's a certain level, it don't really say much compared to other guys who have accomplished a hell of a lot more, maybe even lost fights, but face people. You know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this. So you think by the end of your career, people will identify with you with just the fights that you fought? Or would you think that fighters would rather be recognized as being a former 1-time, 2-time world champion in multiple weight classes? What do you think defines them more? Just
definitely
dudes, or how many times he's won the world champion?
I think the dudes you face are more important than how many championships you won. That's great too. But you know what, like I said before, to me, it's really the level, the people you faced. And that, if you look in boxing history, the most memorable fights are between guys who made each other great. They remember the fights. People don't remember the belts. They don't remember the trinkets. They remember the fights. You know, that's all I'm saying.
Okay, well, I'm gonna say this because I understand where you come from, but I'm gonna have to trump the argument with this. There's a trainer that I used to work with that's at Hit Fit San Francisco boxing gym, and I trained with him, and he fought Leon Spinks. Leon Spinks in the 80s fought Leon Spinks in his prime, all the shit. I'm talking about the Leon Spinks that whooped Muhammad Ali, all the shit. That Leon Spinks, right? Right? It was a hell of a fight, great fight. But guess what? People don't recognize him. People don't know who he is. He's fought top. I know a guy who fought Oscar De La Hoya. They don't recognize him. Not because he fought Oscar De La Hoya. They recognize people that are former world champions. When you go to these fight gyms or these boxing gyms, you get more recognition for being a former champion, especially a former world champion. You get a lot more recognition for that than saying, oh man, this guy fought Leon Spinks. Oh, this guy fought Oscar De La Hoya. Oh, he fought Floyd Mayweather. Like, and when people say that and you hear that, all people say is like, oh, okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's cool. And they respect
well, let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. Arturo Gatti fought Mickey Ward. Did Mickey Ward ever become a world champion?
Yes. He became NABO world champion. He won it.
No, overseas. Man, that's not a. We talking world champion. People don't recognize. People recognize the NABO.
A world title is a world title, bro. It don't matter if it's a small world title or a big one.
Actually,
a world title is a world title.
Actually, NABO is not a world.
Saying.
NABO. No,
Mickey Ward wasn't.
NABO is not a world title. It's a regional title. It's a American boxing.
It's a regional title. Yeah.
It's a regional title, not a world title.
Okay, good looking. Thank you, Tangible. But he's
I'm just saying. I could go down the road with many fights where guys, you know, one guy had a title, definitely, but the other guy didn't have the title. But just the way how the fight went, people didn't expect the fight to go the way it did, and it was just fantastic. I mean, Andy Ruiz wasn't a world titleist, but he was a contender titleist, but he wasn't world titleist, and now he's, great because he beat Anthony Joshua. Not just that he won a world title, but he beat Anthony Joshua. You know what I'm saying?
I say if Ruiz beat Joshua,
well, then do AJ Styles meet?
So I think if he wins,
I would agree with that.
I'm gonna hit up Bruce Vane. I'm finna get Bruce Vane on the DT Magnus show pretty soon. But at the same time, like I said, I understand your point. But it's like you basically discrediting by saying that. But in your opinion, it don't matter if they win a belt. That's like saying like winning the belts don't mean nothing. I might as well fight the guys that are tough.
I'm not saying it don't matter. Let me make myself clear. I'm saying because especially for the up and coming fighters, you go into different levels. You're going to become a titleist, then you're going to become a world champion by defending your belt, and it's very important. It helps you with your money, everything, right?
Yeah, bro. Make it clear for us, bro, because you're double talking and shit, man. Well, I'm confused already.
Yeah, you just said belts only collect dust, and now you're saying belts are great for legacy. So what? So what are you saying?
I didn't say
you're
that.
Double talking right now.
I didn't say belts are great for legacy. What I'm saying is that when it comes to guys coming up in the business, belts really do matter. You want to become a world champion, right? That's the first goal of every amateur, every guy turning pro, become a world champion. And then there's other levels to it, right? After you become a world champion, you defended your title and everything. Now you're looking at legacy. Now you want to do other great things. And the guys who, of course, you're going to be beating, some of them will be former world champions, some of them will be current world champions because they're beating other guys and they're building their resumes, right? So what I'm saying is that, yes, it's great to have titles and belts and stuff, but I don't just look at guys who just have titles and belts. I look at the guys they're facing. That's what I'm trying to say. Because when you're looking at legacy now, you're looking at greatness or you're looking at best, who's the best or whatever. Now you got to look at something that separates everybody from everybody else. And usually it has to do with your skills in the ring and all of that. And how you get them, the fact that you will beat names, people who have done things in the business as well. And because of that, it trumps just the title. You understand what I'm saying? The title was great for when you're coming up, when you're establishing yourself. But when you're building a legacy now.
Most of the time, those fights have titles. Like there's titles between those fights, man. It's not like these dudes are just fucking fighting the best without titles. Most of the time when it's like the best versus the best, they have titles. Most of the time it's a unification. Most of the time it's a champion moving up to face another champion. So belts are always involved in big fights. So that kills your point.
Like I was saying, right? As you coming up, this is very important. As you get more and more in the business, you're beating many champions and all this stuff. You don't even have to have a title.
That applies if you're a cash cow type of a fighter. Okay, like if you're Floyd or Canelo.
Or you built a sufficient legacy so that now it's all about greatness. It's all about names. It's all about people that you want to face, right? So that's why I said, titles and belts, they're great for when you're coming up and you're establishing yourself, you know what I mean? But as you go further on, it becomes about the names, the resume, because now you're dealing with other world champions, you're dealing with other great fighters, you're dealing with other great people. How do you separate yourself from other people when they look back at your career?
Rego been sitting there quiet the whole time. So Rego, let me get your input on what he's saying, because we haven't got your input. I want to get your opinion on what he's saying, Rego. Holla at your boy. I think I got Unrivaled trying to come in too.
He just sounds like a big Wilder fan, man, with some of the shit he's coming out with, to be fair. At the end of the day, the latter part of people's careers, it's all about the money, mate. You know what I mean? That's what it's about. It's about making that money for that retirement. But for the most part, it's about the belts, man. It's about fucking, being someone and having those titles, man.
Right.
We got Bias and Bias Boxer talk in the building. UGC in the building. Shout out to the UGC. What's going on,
Yeah,
by Boxing Talk, bro? What's going on? Welcome to the panel.
what up? You guys can hear me?
Yep.
Okay, yeah. So I mean,
Yeah, I can hear you.
like El Jefe just said, majority of the fights that matter in legacy were all for championship fights. They all were either defending their belts or unification fights. So what you just said literally did not make sense. It just didn't. So I mean, it sounded good, but it's not true. And also, like you sat here and you said that before you said Deontay Wilder's legacy would be solidified if he became undisputed, but then in the same breath you said that belts does not matter. So I mean, you're kind of confusing and contradicting your own points. Then you said competition matters, and then when we look at Deontay Wilder's competition, it's just solely Ortiz in a draw with Tyson Fury. And when you look at Anthony Joshua's competition, it's way better than Deontay Wilder's. So, I mean, I'm not really understanding that either. So, I mean, I would like you to explain that a little bit.
Bearing in mind, AJ and Fury done it in half the time as Wilder.
Yep.
Sure.
Years and fights.
I would say, okay. Should I answer or not?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sure. I didn't say that it solidifies his career by becoming undisputed. I said that it will help when he becomes undisputed, he'll get his pay up, right? And like I was trying to say all the time, all those so-called defenses, Wilder only had 3 really top level fights, if we could call it top level. It was against Bermain Stavern, it was against
not
Luis
Stavern,
Ortiz,
mate. Not Stavern.
And he was okay. Well, then 2 then. Let's call it that. So out of all those fights, this man only had 2 that are actually top tier kind of fights that you could actually think is kind of worth the while talking about, right? We know Anthony Joshua had a lot more, but the point is that's all he had. Okay. And that's where my argument about, they're talking about he has all these different fights, but I'm saying the fights that actually count, the fights that actually matter, right? Okay. Because we all talking, everybody wants to talk about championship belts. And while I'm just try to listen to me, because you guys might think I'm a Wilder fan. I'm not that. I'm a Wilder fan. I'm a fan of boxing.
What I'm saying is to you is that if what you saying is true, or in your opinion is more right than wrong, then why are these fighters? Because this is your opinion, what you're saying, but the fighters are saying that other fighters need to get belts to fight them. But then at the same time, the belts are meaningless, and you're not the only person that's saying that.
I didn't say the belts are meaningless. I'm talking about legacy, and again, it's in the scope. You see, you guys got to listen, because I'm trying to explain myself, but you got Wilder. In Wilder's case, I'm saying they said he had all these championship defenses, right? Because he has a belt, right? But I'm saying the championship defenses that really were at a level that we really would have liked as fans were only 2. He's only had 2 really. Dominic Brazil, what is that? Tyson Fury was the only one. Tyson Fury beat him, right? We all know this. So at the end of the day, he's only had 2. And my point is, people are saying, he was around so long and all of that. Maybe, but he really wasn't facing nobody. Okay? Let's be honest, right? He wasn't facing anybody. He started facing people with Luis Ortiz and Tyson Fury. He got the belt from Bermain Stavern, but I mean, Stavern just got the belt. He didn't even defend it, right? So at the end of the day, what I'm saying is that he hasn't really done, I don't want to say it and bash him, but he hasn't really done much in boxing, the sport of boxing. He's still learning, and he's still on the learning curve. And I'm only saying,
so then why is he in your top 10 pound for pound?
I never said he was. I said he could be. Come on now.
Yeah,
you know that I was making a case to him. Come on, don't misquote.
Why?
No.
How could he?
What? Wait. Hold up. Before anybody else says
you're
it,
fucking triple talking.
Before you guys think for some reason that I'm a Wilder fan,
bro, you're
right?
just
answer the. Bro, you really are like triple talking.
Wait, hold up.
You're saying one thing and then defeating your next sentence.
Wait. Hold up. Let me at least finish my sentence. Let me finish what I'm saying.
Keep it short, bro. Keep it short.
You guys are talk a lot, but I'm not getting to finish what I'm saying. I'm not getting to finish what I'm saying. Let me make it abundantly clear. I'm not I'm not no deep Wilder fan. Okay, so you guys could stop with it. All right. So if you could hear me out when I'm talking and just finish my thought, then you will be able to get the answers. Okay, because you're misinterpreting everything I say. Okay, I said that when it comes to legacy, right, the belts are not as important as opposition. Okay, that's all I was saying. So Deontay Wilder, and it was in the context of Deontay Wilder having all these championship fights, right? And people talking about guys being undisputed and all of this stuff, and it's about belts. I think it's more about the opposition you face than the belts you collect. Yes, of course, the belts will come, and yes, the belts do denote a certain level of opposition. But I don't believe in being a belt collector. That's what I'm trying to say. Now, whether you guys are triggered by the LDPC saying that or not, that is not me talking from the LDPC. That's me talking for myself.
One person at a time.
What you need?
I'm just finishing my thought, and then you guys can talk. I usually finish my thought, and then you guys talk. So all I'm saying is that with Deontay Wilder in his case, where they were saying that he turned down the Anthony Joshua deal and so on, I'm just saying, I'm looking at it from this perspective that he's trying to control his career. Okay, I don't think he ducked Anthony Joshua because I think he faced Tyson Fury after. Right? Is that correct? Am I correct or not? So he faced Tyson Fury after.
I don't agree with that.
I think.
Well, the offer came in after that fight, dude.
I think he's protected by I think he's, for some reason, they don't want Dillian White to face him. For some reason, they giving Dillian White hell to face him. But at the end of the day, he has lined up for him Luis Ortiz, then he has lined up Tyson Fury next, right? That's how it goes. Now I don't believe in the fact that that he's made a poor decision with that decision because he's in charge of his own career. We'll see how it pans out. In my opinion, he might end up being undisputed, and then maybe from that he gets his money and he calls the shots and he becomes the A side, right? Maybe. But what I'm saying is that seems to be the map in the direction they're going in. All right. It looks like it's going to be Luis Ortiz. There's going to be Tyson Fury. I know you can't call things before a fight. The guy could lose one of the fights, and it looks like Andy Ruiz is going to be next. Then Dillian White into 2021. That's what it looks like to me. So it seems as though if he keeps on going down that trajectory, he's going to have more and more paydays, and if he becomes undisputed, now he calls the shots, and from there he could do whatever defenses, and make more money.
Okay.
That's
so I'm biased. You go on that, then I'm gonna go to Untangible, and then I'm gonna go to Oregano, and then I'm gonna go to El Jefe. We got to do one person at a time. No cutting off. One person talk at a time, please. So go ahead, Unbiased.
I was just gonna say, man, from what I hear from Deontay Wilder fans, they always clamor about his 15 title defenses. And they speak about that and hold that to a high regard. So I mean, for me, of course, belts matter. For me, undisputed is every boxer's dream. That's literally their dream. You ask any boxer, oh, my goal and what I would want to be is undisputed, because nobody in the division could say they are better than you if you are undisputed. That's their dream goal. Deontay Wilder has been clamoring and screaming for that forever. One name, one face, one belt, whatever he's been saying. So I don't know. To say that belts don't matter, I'm just not understanding it. Undisputed, of course, that's legacy. I mean, you go down in the history books once you become undisputed. Everybody's going to know that Corey Spinks. I mean, not Corey Spinks. Who else was? Oh yeah, it is Corey Spinks at welterweight. He was undisputed. People know about boxers who become undisputed. So I mean, to say belts don't matter is just a lie. Like it just is. You know what I mean? And legacy, who you fight, yes, it matters. But Amir Khan, he's a name. Does that shit matter? No, it fucking doesn't. So if you have a name and you beat somebody, that doesn't matter. Like you can have a name and be trash, but because you have a name and it's on your resume, does that really equate to legacy? No, the fuck it doesn't. The belts matter. How many? You know what I mean? Like the guy you beat for the belt, that matters. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Mm-hmm. All right, Intangible, what's your take on it? Then we're going to get to Rago. What's your take on it, Tangible?
I have nothing to add because Unbiased just broke it down.
For sure. What do you think, Rago? What do you think, Rago?
Just one point in a rebuttal to him. I said who you face when you face them.
Okay, so what do you think, Rago? What is your rebuttal for the man?
Mate, I've got to fly out for a minute. I've got to pick up my daughter, but I'll be back in 10 and I'll come back into chat, mate.
Got you. Do your thug thing, Rago. So, Hefe, what's your take on it, Hefe?
Man, this dude just blew my fucking mind, bro, with all this fucking defending Wilder and trying to make excuses of the belts don't matter and all that shit. I mean, the belts matter and the names matter. So why can't it be both? I'm saying, let's say one fighter doesn't have a belt, but he's still a good name. I understand him fighting him, but the next fight a champion, you know, like Wilder. He like instead of fighting Brazil, he could have fought AJ. So Andy Ruiz would have not fighting him, and then he would have had all the belts. So it's like he's trying to use this belt shit don't matter and ducking shit. It just doesn't make sense, bro. It's confusing. This dude confused me. And then him defending the Wilder ducking the 120 million deal by the zone. It's just plain stupid, man.
Now, and you're trying to talk about how it's going to matter down the line and whatever his plan, but the thing is, he was going to make a lot more money, literally 4 times the money, facing Brazil than he would have on Showtime, which he did face him on Showtime. So, how break it down?
Can I just ask
Wilder's doing financially that makes so much sense
to Boxing Logics United, and then this is no disrespect because I follow your channel and I respect you, Boxing Logic, but Canelo Ward doesn't have a belt, but Canelo does, so it'd be a title defense. So regardless, if belts would still be in the equation there. That's why like Deontay Wilder fans, they always clamor for these 15 title defenses and hold that high on a standard. So that's what I mean. Like no matter, regardless, if your opponent doesn't have a belt, you're still defending your belt. So it's still technically a belts in the situation.
And unbiased to add on to that, it's like belts is like a filter to let us know like the good from the fucking sea level. So I think belts help us like understand like who's good and who's not. And belts help us also to get these fights because if it wasn't for fucking belts, we wouldn't see most of these fights.
Right. And also, let me add something else, man. This is not welterweight, middleweight, light heavyweight, or whatever. This is the heavyweight division. Literally, what makes somebody's status at heavyweight is the belts, okay? Like, why don't people look at, even though maybe ignorantly, why don't people look at Sam Langford? Why aren't more people looking at Sam Langford as an all-time great? Because he didn't hold the world heavyweight status, all right? People look at Jack Johnson more so than he does.
You got Sconzo, you got Charlie Burley, you got a lot of them, man. You got a lot of guys who are great fighters, and they didn't have belts. They didn't get the opportunity to have the belt, but they beat the guys who had the belts. They had guys who had belts and stuff, and they beat
but do people recognize them? This is also for like,
but
belts also let me just determine your cash cow status to a degree. Like hold on. Charles Martin received 47% against AJ. Okay. Why? Because he was the champion, right? Even though the point is this, even if you're looking at the money status or whatever, with Deontay Wilder, he'd be making more money if he'd be making more money if he was an undisputed champion. Okay, he would be the A side in these negotiations. That's the point.
My point is this, right? I never said you guys keep on repeating that belts don't matter. I never said that. I said a lot of times the belts are collecting dust. They're trophies. They symbolize you beating another person to become a champion.
You can use that. You can use that scenario.
Wait, hold up. This is my point. I want to make a point. Devin Haney got a belt, didn't he? Do you consider Devin Haney the WBC champion, or do you consider Lomachenko the WBC champion?
That's at lightweight, bro. That's at lightweight.
I'm asking a question.
I would consider him a champion. Why not? I would consider him a champion. Why not?
That's a different.
Why isn't he not a champion?
The whole point is belts don't matter.
Hold on. Also, what you need?
I'm not saying belts don't matter.
You're at lightweight, bro. Belts matter. It's different at heavyweight. It's not like these guys can bounce up and down weight classes.
I was just gonna say, man, you're now using the WBC franchise bullshit as a talking point. But if you were to go before that, we wouldn't have the franchise nonsense where the WBC actual belt was just passed down. So if we go and look at the standard before that, then yes, belts do matter. So now if you want to use the franchise nonsense where the person just gets passed the belt, then no, it doesn't.
We let you talk,
Bro.
Hold up.
Oh
So,
my god.
so you can't
No, my
really
point.
use that as a Devin Haney now as a
No,
champion
you can't tell me
because
what I
he
can or
got
can't use.
Let me
because
tell you
because
something.
he just got passed down a belt.
He's the WBC champion. Okay?
Dude.
But we all recognize Vasily Lomachenko as the true champion. We do not recognize Devin Haney as the true champion, right? No matter if he wanted to face Vasily Lomachenko. What I'm trying to say to you is,
Oh my god.
if you're saying intrinsically that belts are everything in boxing, this is what you're saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying they're important, but I think that who you face
Dude,
is
the
more
belt
important
symbolize who the
than
best fighter in a division
the
is.
belts. That's what I'm saying. Now,
belts-
you're saying it's about
the belts
collecting belts.
symbolize the
Gennady
belt.
Golovkin. Hold on.
Bro,
Gennady
can you tell
Golovkin
me? Can you tell me a
collected
big
WBC
fight
belt from Canelo
between two?
Alvarez.
No, bro. Hold on.
Nah,
Can you tell me a big fight with two prime fighters that doesn't have belts involved? Name me one big fight.
My point is this.
No.
We've had
Answer the
situations where
question,
people
bro.
were
Come on.
belt holders
Answer the question.
undeservedly.
Oh my God.
That's my point. That's my
Bro,
point.
you haven't answered shit, man.
I never said that belts don't matter. You guys keep on saying that over and over.
Okay,
I'm misquoting.
answer the
I
question.
said that I take
Stop double
precedence.
talking and answer the question.
Hold on. I take precedence over who you
You're acting like
face
D, man.
and who you beat over belts.
Sorry.
You're saying that belts have precedence over who you face and who you beat. So I am now coming back and I'm saying, well, here's an instance where people got belts, and if belts are the thing that matter and the standard, then we should hold them and say that Devin Haney is the WBC champion. Then Gennady Golovkin, when he got the WBC belt, it was a great thing because he faced nobody to get it, right? And that's what I'm talking about. When I say belt collectors, when I say belt gathering dust, I'm not saying that belts are not important, because I said it before. For a guy developing in boxing and getting to a certain level, a champion, a titleist and a champion is important. So I never said they're not important. I said that who you face and who you beat, and when you face them, takes precedence over that.
No,
so go ahead.
Okay. So
answer the question, bro.
I need to say something. Hold on. I need to say this real quickly.
Okay.
You are comparing divisions, okay, like lower weight divisions, 135, 126, etc. Okay, you are comparing those to the heavyweight division. Those are two different scenarios. Guys at heavyweight can't bounce up and down different weight classes and collect belts and collect legacies like that. Okay, belts are the ultimate thing that determines the king at heavyweight.
That's like saying Joe Montana is the greatest quarterback.
So like, what's really your point?
All right, look.
To respond to that, it's very simple.
No. Hold on. Respond to my shit, man.
Let everybody say something.
Fuck.
Go ahead,
You can only respond to one fucking person, El Jefe. Cut that shit out, bro.
Wait, I asked him my shit like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah,
he hasn't responded.
Don't wait till Intangible and everybody else talk, and then as soon as this guy opens his mouth, you cut him off talking about, whoa, what about my point, bro? Come on, you could
look.
That fucking
No, okay. I want to ask him. Stop protecting D. No. Stop protecting him, bro. Stop getting in your feelings, bro.
Hold up. Ask the question, F.A. Ask the question, F.A. What was you gonna ask him?
I was gonna ask him if belts don't mean shit, right? Like he's saying, right? That belts and names is to him. It's like a.
That's what he said.
Yeah. And I was gonna ask him, when was the last time you had two prime fighters fighting each other and there was no belts involved? Since belts don't mean shit. Can you name me a fight?
You can't.
Exactly.
No, let him think of something. Let him think of it. He might have something. Let him think of something. Do you have a fight where a top fight was happening and belts was not involved? Because until it
was back in the day, but you guys remember Georgie Benton?
Yeah, I know who Georgie Benton is.
Right. He had faced let me see if I can remember the guy's name. Top class fight. No belts. I got to remember who it is, though. That was in the 1960s, though.
I know who you're talking about.
That's what pulled off the top of my head.
What about now, though? Can you name any fights that happened?
I don't know them dudes.
I'm sure.
1990.
Let me ask you: Leo Santa Cruz versus Abner Mares. Was anybody had a belt when that fight happened?
Leo.
I can't remember.
Leo had a WBA.
Leo had a belt.
Abner Mares versus
Santa Cruz.
Did they? They had a belt.
Yes.
Abner
Leo
Mares
had a
was at
belt.
his prime,
Bro, that's not even a fucking big fight.
All right.
I don't know. I have to go through my archives. I can't tell you.
Yeah, look how far.
I just checked their ass in, man. I just checked their ass.
Look how far you gotta go.
It's easy. That's not an often occurrence. Now, hold
But
on.
that's not the point. The point that I was always making is not whether there was a belt there, because I already established you can have a belt, but you ain't earned it. Right? We just talked about Devin Haney. If belts are everything, then Devin Haney should be world champion. Then the Naughty Golovkin should have had the
WBC. Using a new age franchise
bro. But like I said before, what made those fights important? It is a point, because you can't. You're saying belts are everything, and belts are not everything.
All right, look,
that's my point.
My turn, and I ain't really said shit, so y'all gotta let me get this off.
What are you gonna say?
First and foremost, what's your name?
All right, let D talk, folks.
First time that I'm talking to him. What's your name, bro? The Boom. What's the new guy's name? I don't.
He got what you need. Just we call him what you
need.
What you need.
Okay, what you need. All right, what you need. Look, I'm gonna say this. I see the point that you're driving at. Okay, but where I disagree with you, and I believe that the other four guys disagree with you, is you cross the line where you say it takes precedence over the belts. It doesn't. Your point that you're making is a factor. It is a factor, like who you fight, the level of competition, that is a factor. But it doesn't take precedence over belts, bro. And that's something that I heard you specifically say. It takes precedence. No, it doesn't. The belts are everything for more than one aspect, not just having the belt. But when you're climbing the ranks, hear me out. When you're climbing the ranks, number one contender in this sanctioning body or whatever, what the fuck are you climbing the ranks for? You're number one contender for that belt. So as you're climbing the ranks, this is also something that establishes what type of fighter, what caliber fighter you are. So it's no way that you can sit here and say that your point takes precedence over the belts. It just simply does not, bro. Belts, the measurement of greatness since fucking as long as I can remember. And bro, trust and believe, I go back like you do. The belts mean way more than what you're talking about. So what you're saying is like incorrect, because it doesn't take precedence over the belts. I don't care if the belts sit there and collect dust. This is a measurement of the level and the caliber of fighter you are. Whether you got the belt, whether you get to the number one contendership, it's all about the belts. You climb the ranks for the belt. Once you get the belt, you have the belt. Now you can use isolated incidences such as Devin Haney situation in Charlo, but that's not common. This is an uncommon situation that you're going to bring Haney into there. When you started speaking about earlier fighters, because I've been listening to you the whole time, Haney and Charlo wasn't even a factor of the point that you was making. So you can't bring them into being a factor now. You're trying to say that your points take precedence over those belts, and you haven't proved that. If you were in the
yes, I have a number of times. I said Gaddy versus Ward. I said, but my point anyway is this, my dude. I don't want to break you up. So you go ahead, finish.
Well, I'm done. You can go.
Everything that you said before, I already said. That's the same thing. I already factored all that in. That's what I'm trying to tell you guys. Right? Yes, when you're going up in the ranks and so on, the belts matter, and they do, and they always do matter. I'm saying you can't. They're not the most important thing in the world. That's what I'm saying. You're saying that the belts are more important than the people you face. I can't agree with that.
What I'm saying is,
even if you say the belts are on the same level as the people then Juan Lascazo, who never got a belt, he not good at all, right? When you have, like I said before, Charlie Burley, great fighter. We learned that now, right? He never faced no belt. He faced the people. And for the people who saying names, I'm not just saying names. The people who built themselves and are still at the top level. That's why I said when you beat these guys. The guy who I'm quoting after is some oldie guys. I'm quoting guys like Georgie Benton who said that. I'm quoting guys like Roger Mayweather that said that. He said, it's who you fight and who you beat. It don't mean shit otherwise. So that's where I'm coming from. Now, that's when it comes to legacy. You guys mixing it all up. Y'all talking about how important it is for people now and fighters now. I'm talking about, yes, that is true. But when you meet a whole set of champions, when you got a whole set of plethora of good people, you need something to separate them. And the only thing you can do to separate them is to have that level of competition. That's where when you compare one great or one good fighter to another good fighter, you look at this one and you say, this one's better than this one. You're not looking at Anthony Joshua because he belt collected. You're looking at Anthony Joshua, which is good too. But what you're really looking at is Anthony Joshua fought Vladimir Klitschko. Anthony Joshua fought Joseph Parker. That's what made this situation good. Yes, they were champions.
Both had belts. Both had belts.
Champions. Right. You cannot escape that. You cannot escape that.
Klitschko was a unified champion, bro. And Parker was a unification.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, but Joseph Parker beat Andy Ruiz.
Hold up.
For a belt.
Go ahead, unbiased, because you're going on a rant. Okay. We don't want you to go on a rant. Make your point, and we going to somebody else. I ain't saying so. Go ahead.
Right. I'm just saying, I hear what you're saying, what you need. I know you went all the way back to the 1940s to try to make it a point for 2019, and it just doesn't. It's not the same. The times are not the same, so you can't compare them. You just simply can't. At those times, the fighters that you were listing, some of those guys weren't allowed to get title shots because of their skin color. So we can't go back to that time and use it for today. Simply, we are not in those times. Mm-hmm. So you got to leave that in the past. Now you got to make a point that is concurrent for today, and you have
no problem. That.
Now hold up.
Canelo versus Liam. Canelo versus Liam Smith. Canelo versus Liam Smith. Canelo versus Liam Smith. Do we count that on his resume? Do we count Liam Smith on his resume?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
This is
no, we don't.
It's a belt.
Why wouldn't we?
Hey, hold up.
It's a belt and it's a good name.
I don't get to say nothing.
No, we don't.
In the chat, bro. This is what I'm saying. If what you saying is valid, bro, what you need. How many Hall of Fame fighters are not world champions? How many? How many fighters in the Hall of Fame in boxing are not world champions? How many?
I can't tell you because I don't know the numbers, but I know a few that were world champions and they're Hall of Famers.
How many fighters? Are there more fighters in the Hall of Fame that are world champions, or more fighters in the Hall of Fame that just fought top competition?
More champions for sure.
I would assume more.
I'm not going off.
What does that have to do? What does that have to do with that being precedence over who you face, who you beat? So you prefer a guy to be a world? Let me get this straight. You prefer a guy to be a world champion, face nobody, right? Nope. But he was a world champion for a very long time.
He didn't say that. He didn't say that,
No,
bro.
because you're saying that world champion takes precedence. The way you arguing the point, you're saying it takes precedence over who you face and who you beat.
Bro, you went to all this rant just to defend Deontay Wilder ducking, bro. Come on, man.
No,
dude, I'm not defending. What is wrong with you guys?
No, hold on.
I'm not defending anything.
First off, this one about Wilder.
Can I defend myself, please?
Yeah, go ahead, bro. That one about Wilder.
Look, I never said that I prefer somebody to be a champion and fight nobody. I never said that, never came out of my mouth. What I'm saying is, what is in the Hall of Fame more of? Former world champions or former contenders in boxing? What makes you a Hall of Famer in boxing? Winning multiple titles or fighting in top competition? You think?
Hey, and Boone,
here's how I respond to that.
Also, can I add this?
How many world champions are not in the Boxing Hall of Fame? How many world champions have actually, won titles, won championship, and they're not in the Boxing Hall of Fame?
You just want to basically go on your narrative. Bro, not open narrative. Really.
Hey, can I add on to Boone? Let me add on to Boone's thing. How many fighters in divisions, right, that are not champions are consensus and to a lot of people the best? Go ahead. I'll wait.
Didn't understand your point. Say it again.
My point
also
how many fighters in divisions that are not champions are the consensus best in the division? Go ahead. I'll wait right here. Go ahead.
Donut.
Like we said,
So
you
again,
can check that out and see for yourself. But my point is this.
No. I'm asking you.
You
I'm
are
asking
saying
you.
you are making an argument that you got to be a world champion. You got to get championship belts, and that takes precedence over how good you are as a fighter or who you have faced that is good as a fighter.
No, that's not what we're saying, bro. That's not what we're saying.
Have become world champions,
Okay, hold up.
recently or otherwise, for whatever reason, and they have done better work than some guys who are world champions.
No, what we're saying is most of those names you're saying are former world champions or champions.
El Jefe, hold on. See, this is the point that you just want to leave out. Like the consensus of people that watch boxing, right? Nobody that is not a champion in divisions consensusly are looked at as the best. The guys who have belts are, and therefore they are the name, right? In the divisions, they are the name, like Better Be, Bivol. Those are the names in those divisions because they are the champions. Correct? Correct if I'm wrong.
They ain't fighting nobody.
Right.
And unbiased.
So I mean, your point.
Can I ask this question?
I guess you want to keep going to 1930, 35, and talk about guys who couldn't get championship fights because of their skin color to concur it to 2019, and it's you just can't.
Actually,
your whole point.
It just flopped.
It flopped.
Hector Lopez. We got a couple.
You said Liam Smith. You said Liam Smith is not a name for Canelo, but he's a name for Jaime Munguia. What? Like, bro, man.
First of all,
just stop.
First of all, who is Jaime Munguia? Who has he faced and who has he beat?
Oh, so Jaime Munguia ain't the name neither. All right, cool. All right.
I'm asking you. I'm asking you. I ain't asking
what you need.
I'm asking you.
What you need?
Hey man, look, I can kill this whole thing right here.
Hey, let D talk. Let D talk.
Yo, can I ask you a question?
Let him get his question off, and then I'm gonna kill this.
Go ahead. Intangible. Get your question off.
Okay, so you're of course using fighters from back then. How many fighters, okay, who have not won championships in the modern era of boxing, like let's say, 1980 and forward, how many fighters from the modern era have made the Hall of Fame and have not won belts?
You got a few.
Trinkets.
No, you got a few.
Tell me.
He asked his question.
You want me to? I don't know the information offhand, but you got a few.
All right.
It's a nice little homework project for me to do. I
like
it.
Let me put this one to bed right quick. Let me put this one to bed, bro.
But like I said before, you're doing as if being a world champion is higher at the higher levels for greatness, that is, to get in the Boxing Hall of Fame and all of that, right?
And has Deontay Wilder done that?
That is precedence over who you face and who you beat. There's so many world champions out there, lots of them, but they didn't make it to the Boxing Hall of Fame because of who they face and who they beat. Okay. And that's what I keep on saying. Yes, there's also other accomplishments that they may do, whether it's undisputed or multiple weight class or whatever. But at the end of the day, what gets you in the Boxing Hall of Fame is who you face, who you beat. It's just what it is. That's devoid of weight class.
So basically, based on your argument, Deontay Wilder is not a Hall of Famer. He's not a Hall of Famer.
Correct. You're 100% correct right now. That's correct.
All right, well, let me put this to bed for you. Because, dude, this can go on forever because you ain't giving up, but it's just this simple. That scenario that you put out there about a guy going and his legacy being great and him not receiving a belt, dude, that's like winning the fucking lottery. This is what you have to understand. This puts your argument to bed literally. No, you can shake your head, but it's a fact. Because just like Unbiased asked you, you name a great, a Hall of Famer, or whatever in this era or any other era that have gotten to that level, that has been recognized of his legacy being so great without a title, and you got tongue-tied. And then the scenario that you came up with, don't tell me that a guy can't go this far. Bro, that's like winning the fucking lottery. Because generally, that's not going to happen. You're not going to get that legacy under you. You're not going to go that far without having won a world title. And while y'all were arguing, I looked it up, okay? So here's something that really puts your story to bed. Because there are thousands of world champions that have received these belts, right? Thousands. Of the Hall of Famers, there are only 12 guys, bro. So that puts that puts your shit to bed about what takes precedence, because if not, it would be way more than way less. It's way less. The number's way off considering the guys that do have belts, considering what you're talking about. So your shit is.
But the point is, the point is this,
bro.
There is that.
Lay your head
so
down.
it's not a necessity. It's not a necessity like how you make it out to be.
Yeah. All
That's
right,
what is the point.
Check this out. Right here, right now. I'm finna say this because I'm gonna have to go in a minute, man, because my baby's trying to go to sleep. Shit. But I'm gonna say this right here, right now, bro. What you need, you not being objective, bro. Everybody on the panel have been objective to what you're saying and understanding to what you're saying to a degree. All right. You trying to find a way to push on there to say, well, we'll see, like I said, they're in there. We didn't say they wasn't in there. We never said that there were people in the Hall of Fame that don't have belts. We did not say that. We're saying that belts trump people that just fight. You got dudes that may be in Hall of Fame fights, career-setting fights, all the shit, but it don't trump people that fight for belts. And for all people that have fought for belts throughout the history of boxing, they had to fight top competition. They just start that new shit just now, bro. Not fighting everybody, just ducking shit. That shit. They ain't been doing that. Back in the day, fighters fought whoever. Roy Jones era, fighters fought. They just now doing that new nigga shit, okay? How they did with Terrence Crawford, saying that Terrence Crawford was too little for the welterweight division and how he not going to be successful and how he needs to win a belt to fight them. This is before he went up in weight, and he was calling them out, wasn't talking about winning a belt first and then fighting him. He was saying, I'm finna move up. I want to fight y'all first. And you know what them do? The boxers in boxing said, and these promoters, all the shit said, he got to win a belt. So if what you saying is more accurate to today's era, they would have just fought him because they care about fighting top competition, which they are not doing. They're telling fighters that you have to win a belt to fight them. But then on the flip side, they throwing in their
but when you look at this one, my brother, Devin Haney right now, he's calling out who? Ryan Garcia, and they talking about having a fight. Now Devin Haney has a belt. That is true. So on Ryan's side, but it's not Ryan who called out Devin Haney. It's Devin Haney calling out Ryan. So why would he be calling out Ryan? Ryan should get a belt. I'm just saying.
Devin Haney calling out Lomachenko first, and because he can't get that fight, because Lomachenko's fighting the winner of Kami and Teofimo, of course, why not call out Haney? But bro, again, what I just told you, if you have hundreds, literally hundreds of inductees into the Boxing Hall of Fame, but you only have 12 under your precedence, then your precedence doesn't take priority, bro.
Once again,
hold on.
I said belts are cool.
Hold on.
But it's who you face, who you beat. Them guys didn't get into the Boxing Hall of Fame just by getting belts. It's who you face, who you beat.
You just said Devin Haney called out Ryan Garcia. Now, by your standard and what you're saying, is Ryan Garcia a legacy fight for Devin Haney?
No.
Okay, so then your point that you don't have it. You tried though.
He's a prospect, dude. You reach him now.
What's up, Khalil? Where you at? Come on in the chat, Khalil. Come on in the chat, Khalil. Come on, Khalil.
You know that.
Come on, Khalil.
So he's the name. See, you're proving my point again. So he's just a name and not legacy.
He's going to be part of the legacy.
Exactly.
We all know
Exactly. Thank you.
And he's a name based on what? He's a name based on what? He's a name based on what?
Once again, you guys.
He's a name based on Instagram followers.
I'm saying that again. Why would he call out Ryan Garcia if Ryan Garcia ain't something? Okay, he ain't gonna call out somebody who ain't something. And Ryan Garcia's been going well. He's undefeated, and we all know Ryan Garcia is gonna be great. Just like Devin.
Hey, so what you need?
We all know
you being serious that's a legacy fight for Devin Haney at this moment when Ryan Garcia has proven nothing.
Down the road we're gonna see that. We're gonna see it as a legacy
down
fight.
the road. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Ryan Garcia
down the road. Ryan Garcia is probably gonna have a belt, bro. If that fight were to ever take place.
Yo, you know what would make me know that Ryan Garcia is a real deal?
You have to fight.
You know what would make me feel that Ryan Garcia is a real deal? If he beats an ex-world champion like Jorge Linares. There you go.
I think they're lining up that fight too. So that would be cool. But like I said before, and I'll say it again, all right? I am saying precedence. I'm not saying that the belts don't matter. I never said none of that. I said they collect dust. And it's true. Belts collect dust. They're trophies. That's what they are. They're trophies, folks. They symbolize something. They symbolize something.
No.
I'm facing a top tier guy. They not everything. They not everything.
Bro, how do you rank fighters, bro? Like, how do you know who's good and who's not?
Bro, but that's the thing.
How do you rank fighters in your opinion?
They're
In
everything.
your opinion, how do you rank fighters, bro?
Hold on, but
I want to know how you rank fighters.
Exactly. That defeats your whole argument, bro. That's why I asked you that simple question. In what division, right, are people looking at a fighter who is not a champion as the best?
Hey, real quick, bro.
Well, they were looking at Devin Haney as the best, and everybody was on a hype train. He didn't even have a belt. Everybody, you can even
nobody's looking at Devin Haney as.
What the hell are you talking about?
Nobody's looking at Devin Haney as the best.
People were hands down saying Devin Haney would beat everybody,
bro,
including myself.
Now you just
come on, man.
Nah, those are Haney
fanboys. They say that he
fanboys.
was the king of the division at that point.
Yeah, good deal. Listen, real quick, and I wanted everybody to get off of him anyway, because I want to get on El Jefe right quick. El Jefe, you said shit, and you double talking.
It's too much fighting and shit. Like he wasn't trying to hear, but then he wasn't trying to, really talk some real talk. He was just on that bullshit. I'm not with all that. I'm not trying to do all that. We got regular, and I'm just like, look, man. All that saying that the belt just collect dust and all that, and not just, trying to really talk real boxing. I'm not trying to do that.
But DT3, he defeated his own point, because before I heard him, I specifically heard him say that if Wilder became undisputed, it would solidify him. He'd become the A side, call the shots. Yeah. So he's holding up undisputed on a pedestal without actually acknowledging it.
Yeah, and I want to go at El Jefe right quick, because see, you be on some bullshit too, sir. Because you just sat up here and you should have actually been on that man's side, because some of what he was saying applies to your theory about Tank Davis. Now sit up here. Sit up here.
What's the question you're trying to ask me?
Ain't no question. I'm charging you. I'm throwing a charge at your ass. I ain't
charge for what?
Okay, I'm getting ready to throw a charge at you. So listen up, because Bias understood it real quickly. Listen up real cool. The point that he was making basically goes against your narrative about Tank Davis and who he's fought. Tank ain't fought a motherfucking person, bro. But you sit up here and you try to act like, oh, well, give me some more of those ass names outside of Pedraza.
Bro, Tank is about to fight for a belt. What are you talking about? Tank is about to fight for the WBA regular belt. What are you talking about? Tank is a former champion. Tank has beaten champions.
But you said it wasn't about his belt right on my live, bro. And I ain't gonna go back and forth with you, because I'll bring receipts for you. But you said
bring out the receipts.
You said right on my live that it's not all about that belt that he lost on the scale. It's who he fought. And then we said, well, who the hell did he fight? And you start bringing up all these bogus names. But by what my man was just trying to say right there, you should have been agreeing with it concerning Tank.
I don't agree with the bullshit he was saying.
Yeah, I know you don't know what I'm saying now. That's why I body your ass every time.
No, because you're bringing out some bullshit, bro. That has nothing to do with fucking Tank. Tank is a former champion. He's about to fight for a belt.
Okay, so
what we're talking about is Haney versus Tank.
Well, let me ask you this one belt. Since you brought it up, let me ask you this then about Tank Davis. What the hell is he doing in the sport of boxing right now? Because
not a damn thing.
Tank ain't doing a motherfucking thing. So why don't you defend that right now? Right now. What is he doing in the sport of boxing right now?
Tank is doing his thing, bro. He's building up experience. He's building up confidence to face on these bigger challenges that are ahead of him. That's what I'm
They're giving Tank one of them Tyson Fury gimmicks.
You still need to build experience. You still need to be coddled. You still need to be paid. And you don't need to be after he's already been a champion. He's a former champion. There's no more coddling.
But is he facing a former champion? Yes or no? In Gamboa.
A former champion at a lower weight. And he said he could beat Lomachenko. So what is he doing fighting at 19?
Well, he's going to fight Lomachenko. He's been calling out Lomachenko. I can't fucking force Tank to fight Lomachenko.
But he hasn't fought him on that thing. He's fighting low-level fighters, old guys on their way out the doors, and people moving up in weight class.
Bro, you're making it seem like I'm defending fucking Tank. If Tank doesn't fight Lomachenko, he's a duck, bro. What do you want me to say?
What do you mean if? He been calling him out since 130. He comes up to
No.
You're still talking about if he doesn't fight him. What do you mean?
If he doesn't fight him, I'm giving Tank the benefit of the doubt. So if he doesn't fight him next, I'll start calling him a duck, just like I did Spence. Just like I did Spence.
That tells you all you need to know.
We're not even looking in Lomachenko's direction. And that's who really makes the fight.
We'll see. Once Tank sparks out Lomachenko, let's see what the excuse is going to be for Tank.
Well, wait. How's he going to spark him out if Ellaby said they're not even looking at Lomachenko?
We'll see.
Davis' defense. Yeah, I'm done.
How am I defending? I'm saying if he doesn't fight him next, he's considered a duck, bro. What do you want me to say? I can't force a motherfucker to fight him.
What I want you to say is he ain't going to be considered a duck. He's a goddamn duck now. Walk like
that's what I'm saying. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt right now.
I think Tank got potential, but it's hard to believe in a guy that only want to eat Sonic and show up for overweight all the time. He in videos eating Sonic and checkers. He don't take the sport serious. He hasn't even fought anybody at 130 since Pedraza. He ain't done nothing at 130 that makes sense. He ain't doing nothing at 135 that makes sense. The only reason he went up there is because all of the action around Haney and the rest of the boys up there.
Hey, look,
we just gotta pay attention to what Tank does next, bro. If he starts doing some bullshit, I'm gonna start calling him out.
Man, but talking about Josh Taylor, man.
Listen, man,
I don't agree with that, but you know that's how Tank is, man. That's his personality, bro.
I just want to look. Shout out to
Chases in the sport of boxing don't prove, man.
Man, I gotta holler at him about this, man. He's saying that you dudes hold Tank. When he say you dudes, he's talking about all six of us. He's saying you dudes hold Tank to a higher standards than Roy Jones and Beehive and Leonard.
Get him up here. Get him
Khalil don't want no smoke. He keep talking about he ain't got no microphone. He ain't got no microphone on his phone. Okay,
he don't want no smoke. I will cook that nigga like a Memorial Day barbecue.
Khalil been trying to duck everybody since Jesus was a pup. Khalil don't want no smoke.
Bro, can we all agree that Tank right now is on the rebuilding or the building process right now?
No, we can't.
They're building him up.
They've been trying to.
No, what I mean is he's taking
after every fight.
Hold on, bro. What I'm saying is he's taking a similar path to like Canelo. You know how Canelo was like fighting these old ass fighters when they're young.
Look, man, just think about what you just said right now, man. You sound like green shirt dude.
Look, this is why I brought Hefe up. So if he's taking a similar path than Canelo, you're telling me he's taking a similar path to a 16, 17, and 18-year-old? Because if you don't remember when Canelo...
No. I'm saying when Canelo was like 21, 22, before he fought Mayweather.
My turn.
Go ahead.
Let me talk now. Now, it's nothing close to as similar as Canelo. For one thing, Tank is older, though. He's in his man strength now. You understand? Clearly in his man strength. He's 24 years old.
Hey, y'all see the comment he just highlighted, right? He said, I don't want to hear that. Name some fighters who all had big names at 25 fights in his career.
Right.
Tell him, Khalil.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to get on him real quick before I get up out of here because I only got like maybe 10 minutes left. So let me go ahead and get at this dude real quick because I made this stream just to personally get at him. No disrespect to the panel, but I literally did this stream just so I could get at this dude.
I'm backing out, bro. I appreciate you all the time, bro.
All right, D. He's saying Khalil, so y'all hate Tank because the LDBC hypes him up. That's some sucker shit. I don't hate Tank at all. I think Tank has great potential. He's a strong, he's fast, he's young. I don't hate him because LDBC hypes him up. I gives a fuck. LDBC could hype up whoever. So stop using that as a means to try to justify your argument. Because this ain't we just want to hate the LDBC or anybody that the LDBC support. We going to hate them. That's you. That's what you saying. That ain't me. You feel me? So anyway, to answer your question about legendary fighters have fought top names in their first 26 fights, Anthony Joshua has fought top names within his first 25 fights. Okay? Shit, hell, Adrian Broner fought some decent names within his first top 25 fights. Okay? Terrence Crawford fought some decent opponents his first 25 fights. Muhammad Ali fought some opponents in his first 25 fights, bro. So You gotta cut that shit out with this LDBC shit and saying that because if we support Joshua, we Wilder haters, or if we support Wilder, we Joshua haters, and you only could be. I never said he was a legend, but you asked what boxers, and that's a boxer. It don't matter if he a legend, a living legend, former boxer, whatever. I answered your question. Because you keep coming up with this whole we pushing the narrative and we trying to basically do the opposite of LDBC. And if we don't support certain fighters, you can't be a part of our clique. We ain't with that. We're not with that. Lomachenko, thank you, Unbiased. I just said that. Lomachenko was another one. So cut it out, bro. It don't matter. I answered your question. And that's the problem I got with you, Khalil, because you keep coming at me with that bullshit. I respect Kenneth Gordon. Shout out to KG, bro. Because you be with that bullshit. I come at you with all facts. You still, Ali fought one fighter, Sonny Liston, before his career took off. Like, man, shut your ass up. Shut it up. No, you get the fuck up out of here. Because when I give every fighter credit, when I hold every fighter accountable, where the fuck you at? When I'm holding Joshua accountable, when I'm holding Eddie Hearn accountable, when I'm holding Bob Arum accountable, where the fuck your bitch ass at? You ain't nowhere to be fucking found. Then when I make my live stream and say chime your ass in, and your bitch ass yourself said in one of my videos that you can't wait so you can call in. Then when you get the chance to come in, now you want to say your microphone don't work, bitch. You got a phone, right? It got a microphone on that bitch. That motherfucker work. I do hold AJ accountable, bitch ass nigga. I do. You check the channel. Check the channel. Check the channel while you talking.
Check the channel, Khalil.
Bring your bitch ass up in here. Bring your bitch ass up in here. You can't prove it though. Excuse me, y'all. I'm on this nigga head, bro. You can't prove it. You can't prove it. Prove it. Prove it, nigga. Since you saying I'm biased and we prove it. Let me send you the link, nigga. Bring your bitch ass on up in here. I'll let two hands eat your ass up. Bring your ass up in here. Bring your ass up in here. Bring your whole ass up in here, boy. Come on, man. Come on, man.
But low key, he probably just one of them niggas that just want to come and just troll the channel.
Yeah. Just want to troll the channel.
Like,
we ain't got time for you attention whores out here. Excuse me, Troy. Excuse the lingo. Excuse my language. I'm sorry if you got kids watching. Excuse my lingo. Pardon my Swahili. You know what I'm saying? But I got to get on this motherfucker right here. He been giving me problems since Jesus was a pup. Every time I say something good about Wilder, where the fuck you at? When I say something good about PBC, where the fuck you at? Nowhere to be fucking found. But then as soon as I say something against Wilder or against PBC, then your punk ass want to pop up. You a sucker. Then you want to say you not LDBC, but at the same time, you only want to pop up when I got something negative to say about some shit. And you want to tell me you don't want to chime in on the chat because your microphone don't work and all you need is your phone? Get the fuck out of here, bro. Get your chat warrior ass out of here. Get your chat warrior ass out of here, boy. What's up, Troy?
I was listening to the conversation you had prior to this about the belts and the meanings and all that, right? Mm-hmm. Here's the thing: great fighters are not made by belts. Great fighters are made by their accomplishments. They don't really need a belt. Now, what starts them off is that they have to get a belt. Okay, they're the champion, and then from there. Once they keep winning, it's not just to win, but it's how you win and who you win against. And I'll give you a perfect example. Not saying he's great yet because he's not. Anthony Joshua lost, but he's still the bigger name over Wilder and Andy. Correct? Yes or no? Yes. Okay. Floyd was bigger than his belts, right? Right. I think that was the point, brother was trying to make. It was just a simple thing. No one can tell me that, throughout history, even current day, that you watch simply because this guy's a champion. No, you watch because you want to see what great thing or, how they're going to handle their business in the ring. I mean, because we'll watch fights against two guys that don't have any belts. Like take Ward against Gotti. There was no belt involved in that, but that fight will always remain in your mind, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay. You take that fight. It's not about the belts. Like you take a Wilder, he hasn't surpassed his belts yet because he was never handled right from the start. He has everything he needs to be a whole lot further along and be a superstar. But for some reason, whoever was dealing with him didn't have the faith in him that he seems to have in himself now, which is why he's fighting Ortiz again when he should be fighting the Whites of the world, the Parkers, the Chisoras, and all the other ones that he can make more women. He could go over there to the UK and build a big ass name for himself and then say, Anthony, I just knocked out this one and that one, and I'm on your level now. Easy fight to make then, right? There's always been an easy fight to make. But you have to question why he's not doing that.
Right.
And as far as the Tyson fight goes with Wilder, the only reason why his people picked Fury is because Fury was a big name that seemed like an easy touch. He was coming off a 3-year coke binge and this and that and the third. Wilder was supposed to smoke him, right? Didn't happen. He lost. And since he's beat Wilder, I'm sorry, since he's got that draw with Fury, what has Wilder done? What? He beat
100% correct. 100%
okay.
correct. I can't argue with not one thing you saying. You're right. You know, I mean, belts don't dictate a fighter's legacy per se, but the belt is supposed to be the starting of the olive branch, you know, basically, because you know your resume dictates everything you do in life. No different than you growing up, and it's the same thing just with boxing. You know, your resume dictates everything. So when you get the belt, that's basically to let the audience know, like, hey, I'm here. But as you moving forward, that's when you're supposed to take on like the other guys, like a Sugar Ray Leonard would take on a Marvin Hagler, or Roberto Duran, or a Tommy Hitman Hearns. You're supposed to build that legacy. Now, just like you speaking on Wilder, it's Wilder's fault that he's on jet lag because it's what he decided to do. Now, they decided to coddle him and baby him, and that's pretty much the problem with his career, because there's many of opportunities out there for Wilder to amass great wealth and a great name for himself, but it behooves him because of the decisions that he makes. So, you know, I can't knock that, but we just can't, you know, we can't 100% shit on the belt. We gotta, you know, we just gotta be more elaborate. We just gotta elaborate more when we speak. That's all.
I'm not doing that. What I'm saying is this, right? What I'm saying is this, you know, that belt is that first fine girl that you date. After 100%. That, you can't take a step backwards, can you? Right?
I like
100%.
That. I like that. I like that.
You can't go from a 10 to dating like, you know, 5 2s after that, right? You can't do that, right, brother?
That's a fact. That's a fact. Oh, I agree with you 100%.
Okay.
But the thing is, I like how you put the analogy with it, Troy. Like you made it to where it's understandable, but at the same time, you're willing to accept some feedback, but at the same time, you still stand firm on what you're saying, and I respect that, man. Shout out to you for speaking real, man.
Yeah, because I don't have a problem with Wilder. Let me explain something to you. I still got the USA Today, you know, story of him holding his daughter, because that's what gravitates to me, because I'm a father and a grandfather. Now, anybody could have built on that, man. He's a country boy, he's a father, now he's a champion and all that. But, you know, but how he was handled and how he's doing that, there's no way that he should walk into a ring and tell somebody that I'm going to kill you, or feel the need to say I'm going to kill you to hype up a fight. You a black father in a violent sport. He's a charming asshole. Let's be very serious about it, right?
Yeah, walking contradiction.
Huh? Yeah, he's
walking contradiction.
Exactly, man. I mean, you know, I'm from the street. You know, you got to be a charming asshole to survive, right?
Yeah, in a sense, you know, but I mean, being a street dude too, you know, it's certain codes we supposed to honor. You know what I mean? It's just certain things that you shouldn't throw out there. And I just think that's Wilder's problem. It just gets to the point. When does it become a point when, okay, it's just too much clout? Like, you got to just stop saying certain shit. Like, it's become a point where we got to pump our brakes a little bit. I don't think Wilder has he doesn't understand his filter, or nobody's around him telling him that he need to chill. Cause like,
and that's why, man, Tyson would have been the perfect dude to talk to, because people say, well, Tyson said he was going to kill this person and do that. He said it once. He said it once and he moved on. He said, I'm going to eat your children once. I'm you know, this and that. He said it once, then he moved on. That
right.
Tyson.
And that was basically off of the back of his boy, Daryl Hamo Jones getting killed that same day. Like, so it wasn't like he just said that, you know what I mean?
Let me tell you something.
Right. And, you know,
I think
Wilder actually, he blew a good chance because Tyson, where he is right now, man, he would have took him in and he would have mentored him. Not as far as how to fight, but just how to handle the media and how to actually build a brand, right?
Okay.
Because Tyson came from a place where you either do or die, man. Because I'm from the Bronx, he's from Brooklyn, right? He came from a place where you do or die, and the reason why Tyson is still so big and he's an icon and he's a brand because he gave you everything that he had. He never sugarcoated who he was. Wilder's playing a character. That's not who that boy really is. He's playing a character.
Because when you real, you can feel it though. It ain't even about what you say. You know what I mean? It's in your actions.
Yeah.
Then it's just like his vibe. You can just tell he a fake dude because it's like the way he talk on camera and then the way he talk when it come fight time. It's just like he taking on this whole different moniker. It's like he putting on an act. And I just don't do acting, man.
I don't feel that. I don't feel that either.
Shit.
But I gotta speak on this because I gotta cut it out. Cut the stream out in a minute, y'all.
Hey, brother.
I gotta speak on this and then I'm gonna get up out of here. But check this out, Khalil, bro. I'm not mad at you. I ain't mad at all. You're not speaking the truth. You haven't proved how I am biased. Okay, you're saying that 90% of my videos is against PBC fighters. You know what I'm saying? And all I'm doing is telling the truth. So tell me in what video, not now, because I'm gonna go. You had your chance to chime in. Evidently, your mic don't work. So the next time I do this, get your mic fixed. So when the next time I do this, you can bring your ass on in here. But I am not bothered the way you think I am bothered, bro. You're not speaking facts, bro. You're not speaking no facts, no none of that. Okay? You just sitting there picking at me every little thing I say, because you're not giving me props when I am speaking positive things. You're not doing that at all. So I can't have that. I gotta mute your mic, Rago.
Shit, Batman needed the Joker, man.
I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, I appreciate you coming in debating. I appreciate you giving your input, but to falsify stuff on my name, saying I'm biased, but you can't prove it because I don't agree with the way the PBC fighters are going about their shit. They not fighting people because they don't want to fight on an app, but yet they're getting super big paydays. That's all I talk, because that's what they doing. That's what they doing. That's what they doing. So what am I supposed to do? I'm supposed to basically be like, all right, the PBC fighters are doing smart moves by not fighting the best fighters because they're not getting what they feel is the most money. I'm supposed to basically make excuses. All fighters get it. I made a whole video, dumbass nigga, that all fighters are not exempt, bruh. A whole video that I would get on everybody, bruh. Whole video. I criticize everybody. And your punk ass is you're the only person. Everybody else get it. You the only person. Even the LDBC fanboys, Wilder fans, all the shit. They get it. You the only person that gives me a problem for being honest, bro. Because I don't push the narrative that you want me to push. Because I don't say the shit that you want me to say. You want to sit up there and poke at me and shit. Because I don't criticize people the way you want me to criticize them. Because I don't say what you want me to say. I'm not going to do
that. I'm out, fam. Handle your can.
All right, bro. Holla at your two hands.
Yes, sir. You know what it is.
So the NBBC won't allow you to criticize other. Who? I am the NBBC, motherfucker. I am the NBBC. Me. Nobody. I don't work for nobody. Nobody. Nobody hired me from the NBBC. I am the NBBC, bro. Me. By myself. One bullet. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you something. My favorite fighters are Terrence Crawford and Anthony Yarde. You don't see no videos of me justifying Anthony Yarde. You don't see no videos of me just overly sucking Terrence Crawford, Anthony Yarde. You don't hear me making excuses for that. Now, if I was doing that, then you could say I'm biased and all that. But I ain't doing that. So until you see me doing that, shut your ass the fuck up. Shut it up. You don't have to agree with me. That's what makes me non-biased. That's why I say the NBBC is unbiased. Because a nigga like you can actually come to my channel and say this dumb shit, and you don't get blocked. I'm going to just blast you. So if you was to go to the LDBC channel, like you keep saying, we trying to be like them, they'd watch your ass already. You already said ego gave you the motherfucking boo. Shut your ass up. Shut it up. Cut it out. Since your mic don't work, everybody else mic up in this bitch work but you. So you mean tell me you can't get on your phone and hit the link and then talk on your phone like everybody else? Your phone is broke, huh? For sure, fat apples. Your phone broke. Khalil, where you at? You ain't coming now. You keep talking about we got to take sides and shit. You know what I'm saying? I made this stream just so I could get at you because you keep telling people that I'm biased and all that, but you can't prove it. None of you Wilder fans can prove that I'm biased, bro. I know he a troll, Candy Crush. I know he a troll. But none of y'all can prove that I'm biased. None of y'all can prove none of my video was wrong. That's all I ask. Before I get the out of here, that's all I ask y'all to do is prove me wrong. I'm breaking up. Okay. Y'all hear me now? I fixed it up. Y'all hear me now? Oh shit, my audio bad. Look, bro, I'm gonna just get up out of here, man, because I don't know my audio was bad or whatever, and I want y'all to be able to hear me. So y'all already know what's up, bro. I'm gonna holler at y'all, man. 100. I'm out of here. Yeah, my broadcast is terrible.